I was muted. What's happening, guys? Welcome to another eclectic edition of PWT Live Show. Yeah, where's my yeah? Yeah. I'm back, baby. I'm back from vacation. How you guys doing, man? You guys miss me? I missed Juz. Hope you've been all good. Sorry if there's an obnoxious fan blowing into the microphone. It's hot as ever, loving F everywhere. Yeah, so welcome to the live show at Pro Wrestle Times, at Pro Wrestle Clips. You already know where to find me. You know how I get down. All over social media at Pro Wrestle Times. A huge shout out to everybody who's stuck by me this whole damn time. You know what I'm saying? Like through thick and thin, from the beginning to the end. You guys know who you are. Round of applause for you all. I got I got Dynamite on deck. We're going to talk some Stephanie Vaquer, probably laugh at Dave. I have so much bookmarks, you guys. So much. So many. We're going to just trudge on through them. You know, we're just going to plow through a bunch. There might not be a lot of rhyme or reason to them. You know what I mean? And we're just going to go hard in the paint. Let me check out some of the members chats. If you want to become a member, it's like 99 cents. You become a member. I try and show every member chat on the screen, but also members only streams are back, folks. They are tomorrow. I will do one, whether it be 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, whatever it may be. I am back from vacation. I will do a member stream tomorrow at some point, maybe in the morning, maybe in the evening. I don't know. But hey, as you all file in, make sure you hit that like, make sure you hit that subscribe. Thank you so much for over 3.7 thousand on Pro Wrestle Clips. And thank you for we blew past 1K over on Pro Wrestle Times as well. So I just appreciate that so much. George Capture, I'm just going to read some chats as everyone files in, and then we're going to get things going. I might need a drink too, and I need to get Dynamite on here, and boy, is it hot. The heat wave was in full effect. If you guys haven't yet, check out Mine and Awful Wrestling's NXT Heatwave and Money in the Bank reviews. We also cook Dave Meltzer for his hypocritical trash take on the Sol Ruca Kalani Jordan North American title match, which I thought was good, but not match of the year. And I also interviewed Myron Reed, one of the Rascals, who's killing it in Revolver and all over. You've seen him in TNA and all that. But the other three Rascals all reunited that same night. What do you know, on NXT, which was a huge moment. Everyone popped for. And yeah, I have one of the Rascals on the podcast. So if you haven't, check out that interview that I did. And George Captor says, I don't think that WWE gave Tony Khan a chance to fumble Stephanie's WWE sub potential. I'm going to get into this. We're going to get into this, my friend. So thank you for that. New member, Tom Reed. Wow. Thank you so much. Mark A. Hicks is a member for 3 months. That's incredible. George, you win the super chat, dude. Plinian just dropped a $5 super chat. Thank you so much. And shout out George, and shout out Lynn Hawk as well. I'll give you all a round of applause and a bro. Welcome. I think people are filing in. I appreciate you all so much. And yeah, I don't know. The member shows are just much more I'm much more lax, nothing planned. You guys tell me what to talk about type thing. And yeah, I got to get Dynamite pulled up here. I might have to disappear for 1 second, though, to get a beverage. It is hot, you guys. So and again, pardon the obnoxious fan, but I ain't turning it off. Rick 71, a new member. My word, we got new members galore today. You are, I'll give you a bruv. Thank you. You guys are the MVPs, the true ones. Appreciate you all. Now tonight, possibly joining me. I have not sent out invite links yet, but possibly joining me, a former WWE superstar, a former TNA wrestler. I'm not gonna blow the load here. Someone I've been texting with. If you listen to the shows, you already know who it is. And hopefully they pull up. But I don't want to make promises and nothing like that. You know what I mean? People have busy lives, but it's definitely happening like this week or next week or maybe on the weekend show. Maybe the weekend show might work better, but I don't know. It might happen tonight. So stick around. You never know what'll happen. And also, I am interviewing a former WWE NXT UK superstar and current TNA knockout. And that interview will be dropping, I believe, like next week. I'll let you guys guess who it is. It's someone I've put over tremendously on the show. And what's up, Rick? It's good to have you here. Rick. Rick. Wrestling Russ for $10. Finally, my boy is live. You missed me or what? I missed you guys. I won't lie. So without further ado, let's just dive into Phil Mark's bookmarks. And yeah, Wrestling Russ, you were DMing me there, and I appreciate you reaching out. And yeah, Vaquer was good. Everything's solid. I just needed a few days to relax. I still watched wrestling, the whole time because I'm a mark. That's what I like to do. It is what it is. But yeah, no, I just had to catch some rays and everything, catch some extra Z's too. You know what I mean? And thank you so much for the super chat. So we're just going to dive into Phil Mark's bookmarks as I try and get Dynamite on. It's going to start here. We have another Will Ospreay for Booker of the Year. You ain't hype. What do you mean by that? Like everyone, because sorry, maybe my mind's elsewhere because everybody's sort of like making the joke now about Mercedes Monae. Oh, she's like Mercedes. I called it Mercedes Monogan or whatever. I riffed off like 5 or 6 names on the last show I did. So check that out. The last live stream, I believe, or maybe it was with Awful. But either way, everyone's making the joke, the Mercedes Hogan thing, and how she booked herself into whatever. So is Will Ospreay booking himself too? Did I miss something there? Ray J's World for $5. NXT having a Rascals reunion and Joe Hendry, thanks to the WWE TNA partnership and NXT signing Steph Vaquer. Is Dave Meltzer calling Tony panicking? Well, I'll tell you this much. I actually had Aunt Evans on the podcast today as well. Oh, I forgot to plug that. So that'll be dropping like this weekend or something. Your boy came back from vacation. I started grinding. So Aunt Evans, former UFC PR. He designed Fight Pass. He designed the Hall of Fame. He designed TNA's YouTube that got them back in the game that everybody... he worked directly with Scott D'Amore. He worked directly with guys like Brock Lesnar. This guy, he was just on the show, and we just shot the shit for half an hour. It was a brilliant conversation. He's going to come back on. He's a busy man. He had to rush over and do Bischoff's stream, and he's been on Bischoff's show. You guys have probably heard of him there. And he predicted that TNA was going out of business in like 18 months. I asked him again. I was like, okay, reiterate that. Is it going out of business in 18 months? And he's still like, it'll be absorbed or it'll just become some whatever. He has some sort of insight, but he gives a good old, the new regime, if you will, of TNA since Scott D'Amore left. He gives them a good old molly whopping, we'll call it, this early in the show. So I'm not cussing too early on in the show, but you guys got to tune in. He goes in on TNA. And not like the talent or anything like that, but the new management, and he was tight with D'Amore, and it's a brilliant interview. It comes, I'll drop it like Saturday for you guys or something. I don't know. Thank you so much, though. A lot of you in here. I got to get to these before oh, right. That was the last one. And the Rascals reunion. I didn't even really answer your question. Rascals reunion was awesome. Joe Hendry was great. Remember how Dave Meltzer, I put it in. I'm feeling good, so we'll give you guys a Meltzer flute already. We'll just get into it. Fuck it. Unofficial moment of the week, but like, he's saying, oh, Joe Hendry was booked trash. Like, oh, he got thrown out of the Battle Royal by Kazarian first, even though that progressed their TNA storyline, right? And then he appears, if you guys watched Heatwave, I actually forgot to mention it in the review, like oh, I got it. Yeah. But yeah, Joe Hendry's face appeared at the end of the whole Heatwave pay-per-view. If you guys stuck around to see that, like the credits come up, the WWE logo, or maybe not, whatever, and then it's Joe Hendry's face goes on the screen. And then if you watched NXT, when Trick Williams, he doesn't have a partner to fight Spears and your boy Ethan Page. So he's like doing a backstage promo, and then as he walks away, the graphic changes to Joe Hendry's face, and it's money. It's so good. I think Evil Dose pointed it out on X. I think I saw him tweet this out. I'm stealing his shit here, but he said that Joe's like nothing. It's nothing even like crazy special about him. He's just like charisma. He's charming. It's just the way he presents himself. He doesn't do crazy moves. There's nothing. He's not his entrance isn't overly dramatic. Like, yes, it is absolutely dramatic in the best way, but it's not like he's not putting on this huge show. It's just smiling at the camera, waving your arms, smiling at people, shaking hands, like not funny, but just like gentlemanly. When it's just the little subtle things he does, and then he just doesn't have to do Torpe con Hiron 470s out the ring, which I like sometimes, but not all the time. You know what I mean? And Joe Hendry's he's money in the bank. So I've just harped and raved on that. What else? Let's get to 69. Dude, TNA has some good wrestlers. I hate to see it go. Joe Hendry to NXT full time would be hype. Yeah, wow. Post credits. I hope WWE helps TNA from dying. Me too. I hope that it Pixel, he has 2 channels. Are you a member in the Clips one? Yeah, dude. Plenty in here. Sorry, dude. It's 2 channels where yeah, and I'm using like an aggregator. It's called StreamYard. You know, that's what I use to stream. So it puts them all together, but I'm like on the Clips one. So I apologize. I do know you're a member. I have you written down actually as well. So I will show your stuff. Don't worry about that. But you can become for 99 cents a member to the other. You already throw enough money around, dude. You stop. But yes, you are a member, dude. It's because if you're a member to one, you're a member to both type thing is how I have it set up. Anyways, maybe it's dumb, but I like to try new things. Be innovative, bro. Speaking of innovative, so actually, guys, is Dynamite about to come on? Here, I'm teasing you guys. I'm giving you the sizzle. I missed you, so I gotta tease you a little bit. You know what I mean? So I need to pull up Dynamite before we do anything, and I'm actually gonna try and throw on my Xbox, which is weird. So bear with me. But we'll dive in. We'll take a look at the card before, as we wait for me to stop, bumbling around. I'm gonna make sure my DMs are closed. I haven't sent invites out either, guys. Let me send invites out. I apologize, and then we will. I'm a little rusty, hey, if you guys can't tell. So, here, awful. I should send him an invite, right, guys? And then I should send my good friend. And here we go. Boom. And hopefully he joins. So that would be fun. Either way, you're going to get a former WWE superstar, TNA wrestler on the pod. He does his own show. I'm going to plug it all when he comes on. You know what I mean? We've been texting a lot over the last, I'd say, week or two. So I can't wait for that as well. And yeah, I got cool interviews and stuff. Hang around while I'm bumbling around and stuff. And yeah, let's dive into the film marks, bookmarks. And I got some like Alfred Konuwa. He was cooking, man. We got so much going on. He too is coming up back on the show. I got a lot of interviews coming for you guys. I'm embracing the grind, bruv. Just like also another Hogan. Oh yeah, that's what you were referring to. God, see, I'm such an idiot. Do you know why? It's because I see Alfred like post a clip and I don't want to react to it. So I pause it, I bookmark it, and I watch it on the show with you guys. So that's what chat was referring to. No, Ospreay's like, hey, I'm gonna book myself to like put Swerve over, and I'm just a dummy. So dummy. Let's go. Okay, so the Calgary Stampede, they're in Canada. I opted out. I'm not trying to go to this Dynamite in person. I'll be perfectly honest. But it is hot as shit in Canada right now, and the Stampede's a good old time. So I'm here with you guys, and I have Dynamite pulled up on the screen. Okay, so we have Bryan Danielson, Adam Page in a tournament final. We have Willow and Mariah May in a tournament final. We have Strickland returns. They finally actually put the AEW World Champion moniker over his name. Shout out Uncle Bully Ray. We'll hear from AEW International Champion Will Ospreay. All right. Mercedes Monae double championship victory toast. Now you want to talk about brother? Like, what? You just did this last week, So I don't know what's going on with all that, but we'll see. The Learning Tree, which very sports entertainment-y, but it's a Stampede street fight. Okay, Jericho's gonna do some funny shit. I'm probably gonna pop. It's Joe, so he'll give us something to pop about somewhere. But I mean, my expectations for this is Jericho. He's always just like inserting himself in these weird matches. Anyways, so then we have a Global Glory 4-way match. I'm Excalibur. Welcome to AEW. I hope the sickos are here. It's starting. 120 of you in here. They're opening with a good package, a solid package. Pause. We love good packages. We're going to talk about Stephanie, though. Don't worry, guys. I'm getting to that. Okay, so they're playing a package here. I'll turn this up for y'all, and it's MJF talking about Swerve, and Ospreay. I'm fearful like they're going to do like a 4-way at All In. Isn't that what it's seeming like it's going to be? Like Ospreay, Garcia, MJF, and... Or isn't it like the winner of the Owen gets the shot? Dude, this company fucking... it drives me insane. It's hard to follow. We watch it all the time, and it's like, well, where are they going with this? Not that I want it all to be predictable, but I want it to be sensical. That's all it is. Okay, Ostrich. I use Cornet wrestler nicknames. We all get caught up doing it. And shout out Mrs. Cornet. And Jim, of course, as well. That's the GOAT in this space for sure. So Bruv's coming out with a Bruv jersey. That was a great package, and then they open it up with a perceived star. So I'm not mad at this. Everyone's going to go, oh, come on now, Phil. You always do this. You always say that AEW is starting off really good, Phil. And then all of a sudden, next thing you know, you're burying it. So I don't really understand. Oh, come on now, Eric. So, yeah, I mean, it's starting off strong. It typically does, but it doesn't carry through, rather. So we'll see. So I don't know. Do you guys have picks, man? We have a global glory 4-way. Claudio Castagnoli versus Kyle Fletcher versus Pac versus Tomohiro Ishii. Like, I mean, that's fun, I guess. So, chat me up, Phil, about this Will Ospreay promo. Guy. Well, I gotta tell you, Conrad, I don't have a good Eric. I gotta expand my. They're chanting for him. What's the house like, though? Is it like 3K or something like that? It's not as good as it once was, that's for sure.
Thank you kindly.
But it ain't all about that, man. I just wish Tony would book smaller buildings. That would solve my gripe. I'd stop complaining about it. I wouldn't use it as the thing. Oh, they're running smaller buildings, though. I wouldn't give a shit. I'd eliminate that. I'd go, yeah, but look how cool it looks. You know, that's why I go NXT's the best wrestling show. Like, I'm sorry, I love Raw, I love SmackDown, but fucking NXT's fun, dude. It's a fun time. People are like, I don't get Booker and Vic. I get that, but I'm telling you, if you warm up to it, it's modern shit. It's like, I'm not trying to call anybody old heads. I'm just saying there's a reason it works, you know. It works with that audience, you know.
Daniel Garcia earns every opportunity that he
sell me some mortgage, Phil. Ishii. Yeah, we're going to talk about this in a sec. We're just going to listen to Bruv. I'm going to grab a beverage. I'm going to move my microphone so you guys can hear this crystal clear. And let's...
He stands on this second rope just like I am and delivers a tombstone pile driver. Daniel Garcia is still at home now with no feeling in his arms and no idea when he's going to come back to pro wrestling, even if he does come back to pro wrestling. And you want to blame the people. You want to blame them for opening up and being vulnerable towards them. You've been open and you've
spoken all right.
About your ADD.
You guys could hear that, huh? What a good show I'm hosting. He just called him a little prick. He's doing the promo in the dark. Yeah, it looks like a fucking...
Listen, right?
A cave level in Zelda or some shit.
MJF, and I can already tell you don't like me. And I think I know the reasons why.
Oh, I fucked up. I botched, Phil botch. I went back on my fucking thing here.
Very well.
There we go. 137 of you in here. Make sure you hit the like. I'm going to talk about Vaquer here in just a moment. I'm just listening to Bruv talking about his left nut. Your entire body, bruv. I might have fucked up my... So yeah, we're at 44 likes. There's 142 of you watching, so 100 of y'all, at least 40, I can accept are haters, but like 100 of y'all got to be hitting that. Like 60 more y'all, I mean, rather. My math is not perfect here. Okay, so let's Ray J's World here. Conrad has been pissed since Jeff Jarrett lost the Owen. Jeff promised Conrad to take care of Hangnail Page in his ref job. Conrad is going pro WWE. Well, he's always been pro WWE. He just is. He won't like. He just won't call a spade because he doesn't want to piss any of the boys off. That's all. And I totally understand that. You know, like he works in and around the wrestling space. So I'm not like mad at him for that, but I just gotta turn this down while I'm talking. I can't. But yeah, I'm not mad at him for that, like ever. You know, I actually really like Conrad and Eric. Like I love their dynamic. You know, it's good to hear people with like opposing views. People don't want to just hear everyone go, "Oh, yep, I agree. You know what I mean? That's silly. So yeah, but yeah, I don't think Conrad was ever shilling either. I just think he doesn't want to piss any boys off because he works in and around the wrestling space, you know, where it's like me, it's like, nah, I just talk to wrestlers and shit. I love wrestling and shit, you know, but I don't work in wrestling. So but yeah, thank you so much for the super chat. And okay, let's talk about Vaquer. I'm fucking, unless something amazing happens here, what are we doing? What are we doing here, B? So but yeah, sorry. Actually, this card though, I did want to say the most thing I'm excited. I try to always point out like what am I the most excited for? So the thing I'm most excited for, pardon me, I'm doing three things at once, is I guess. Well, we heard from Ospreay, so I guess fuck it, Samoa and Jericho. There you go. I think that'll be the biggest shit show, and we'll see something crazy that will get memed and stuff like that. Okay, so. Talking about Stephanie Vaquer. He's on the top floor skyscraper. Here, should we just do Will Ospreay's promo? It's going forever though, but he's spitting heat. I'm not hating on it. You know, it's decent. After my nan passed away, is Awful going to get triggered by that and get mad? Just kidding. So here, they're gonna square off. Let's listen to this, and then I'll play this little Conan clip, and then we'll get into Vaquer, and I'll give it like when I'm have my focus, you know, and there's some overly long match going on because MJF's coming out. Okay. Jesus Christ, Hamlet was shorter than let me show these guys. I'm curious on the Willow match. Yeah, Willow's the shit. She needs to get out of there so bad. AEW finally had a hook to a real story, and they flushed it down to only 1 week. Yeah, hard to disagree with anything Ospreay said because you had to understand. I think Shawn Michaels tweeted Steph's signing to take a short. Yeah, I got it all bookmarked. Don't worry, I did. I was doing it. That's what I was doing as I was setting up the live. Oh, here we go. Some spooky shit. You thought I was gonna come out there. No. Okay, we're watching. He's drinking wine. So he's just full on heel MJF. Good for them. But imagine if he did that to like Wardlow from behind, or like finally like, oh, Wardlow's got his trust again, and they're like, oh, they could be good guy badasses together, and then MJF just attacks him and pushes him down again, steps on his neck again when he's already, you know, and he could be like, I buried you. Like, who do you think buried you when I was world champ? And all this, like, why you da-da-da-da. I don't know, man. They just, I don't know. I just like this dynamic, though. If they're going to push Bruv as the white meat and the man of the people, it's the way to do it. You got to make something happen with these guys, with these certain players. We can't be mad at the guys they're using here in this segment at all. I'm rating this high. This is like a B+ for me. And I'm stepping on MJF's shit. LC Killer 17, Meltzer and Alvarez is a cancer in the wrestling community, bruv. You you already know, dude. Thank you so much. I don't know what to say. You know, you said it. Or I don't know, like Dave contributed, man. He wrote a bunch of like historically. Oh, come on now, Eric. I sound like Conrad. But like it's true, he did like document it all. So like his opinions on the shit aside, he at least like wrote down who won, how long it was, blah, 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 you know? So you got to give him that, and I will give him that, but that is about it. Like, at least in recent years, you know? But even back then, I was always one of those guys who, like, I would listen to it more, not to just cook it and roast it and laugh at it. I would listen to it, try and take it seriously. And like, there wasn't so many egregious calls, rather, like as far as star ratings. But, you know, to me, I've always been one of those guys like Hogan Rock, WrestleMania 18. That's like the greatest match ever. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. So to me, I've always been in that camp, you know, like what Cody Rhodes says. I am fully on board with that. Your boy Phil loves that match. Probably one of my all-time. If you're going to show anyone a match, that's when you show them, you know? You can't say that about any of these other ones where dudes are like falling on their necks. People like cringe at stuff like that, you know? But yeah, thanks for the super chat. Okay, you just called him a bitch and blah, 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 bow. So. So I guess we're just getting like Bruv and MJF in a program for this belt, I guess. And I like that they put a ticker up there with a men's quarterfinal in 1 minute. Danielson and Hangman, they're going to try and hook us with a good wrestling match. I'm okay with all that, but we know what's going to happen. Hangman's going to come out like Batman Hangman, and Danielson is going to do yes chance again, and they're going to have a probably pretty hard-hitting solid match. It's going to go too long. And yeah, so we're going to talk about Stephanie Vaquer, okay? I'm just laying it out. Jesus Christ, it's quiet in that arena. Yeah, it's quiet in here, Awful. Why aren't you here? No, you're a busy man. I understand. You got a beautiful home, a beautiful wife. You got way more important things to do than hang out with old Philly S. Marks. But it's good to see you, buddy. Much love. Let me see what you guys are saying in here. Not sure if I'll be on these as much. Have to get a second job. My cat has a tumor and the treatment is expensive. Bro, whoa, that's crazy, man. I am going to give you a bro, and just everybody send your well wishes to All Jake's cat. Okay? Prayers and best wishes, man. That's incredibly unfortunate, and you can't predict that sort of thing, and just keep your chin up, bro, and we're always here. You know what I'm saying? You need the Discord, you need the chat, you pop in. We'll show you some love. We understand if you're too busy to hang around, all Jake. We appreciate you, buddy. Awful's back. Guess who's back? Love you, Phil. Yeah, you too, buddy. I miss Awful. Awful a goat. Yeah, he is, man. And a lot of people, they rank him up there as one of like the top haters, man, of AEW, which he is. But I'm glad that I cultivated. You guys understand where I'm coming from. You know, I feel like I've cultivated the right audience of like, you guys know, you know, like I don't agree with the guy. I'm like 80% of shit, but we got to talk about it. We don't talk about it, we don't get nowhere. You know what I mean? So people are getting so mad too. And me and Awful are arguing. People are in the comments like, Phil is full on. He's become Conrad 2.0. I'm like, come on, man. Every fucking Dynamite, I start putting over the first hour, and then in the second hour, I'm worn out, beat up, and disgusted with myself. That end was flatter than Rio's bum. Oh, come on. Awful. Oh, come on now. Awful. Hugs to all Jake. Yeah. Peace from around all over the place. To you all, Jake. We're thinking about you, bruv. Absolutely. And your kitty. What's your cat's name, by the way? Throw it in the chat. Cats are man's real best friend. Dude, for real. I was always growing up, I had more cats than I did dogs, but I like dogs, you know. Yeah, I like Hangman. I'm not a big fan of his new music. I would have just like slowed down his old theme and did like a Def Rebel remix on it, but yeah, he came out the heel tunnel. I don't mind that they do that either with the different tunnels. And he's like, I'm on angst, Hangman, Batman. That's cool, but is that so? It's him versus Swerve, but now he's like, I'm angry, Dark Knight, Hangman. You know what I'm saying? I don't Calypso. Shout out Calypso, but we call her Sweetie. There you go. Dude, people love their pets, bro. I don't fucking blame you. You know what I'm saying? Pets are the real deal, dog. Pun intended, I guess. Are they both wearing pink and black? So are they both wearing pink and black? And this is supposed to be new, evil, I don't give a shit vigilante Batman, but I'm going to take time to wear pink and black. No, somebody creative back there go, you just should wear the same shit you wore last week because we're trying to like introduce the character and we need brand recognition. Okay, he's not wearing pink. Thank fuck. He's got fire on him. It looked pink. Thank God. But also the fire, not down. Not that it looks bad. It just, you got to just keep that brand. Just here's what I look like now for a little while, and then you switch it up. You know what I mean? So again, something WWE does tremendously. So yeah, let's talk about Vaquer. Okay, I've been teasing it long enough. Or here, let's play a real quick. Here's Alfred Konua. I got so many bookmarks. We're just gonna tackle some of them randomly tonight. So here we go.
Ospreay is doing no favors to Swerve's biggest moment. He's stepping all over it the way Swerve stepped all over his face last Sunday. What a worker! Terry Bollea Ospreay wants credit for doing
Terry Bollea Ospreay
doing a job that he was supposed to do.
Terry Ospreay.
What a hero. AEW is turning into one giant Chris Rock joke. Ospreay lost a match where Swerve was a minus 800 betting favorite. And what, he wants credit for it? You were supposed to lose.
What, you want a cookie?
Yeah, Chris Rock's joke. Oh my God. They'll be like, oh, I pay all my bills. You're supposed to pay all your bills. Classic Chris Rock bit. I love that. Shout out Alfred Kono. He's coming back on in 3 days. He'll be on the show, I believe, again, which will drop probably like the week after at some point. So, okay. Let's paint a little picture. Take you on this journey. So AEW, they do the Forbidden Door, right? They decide, we're going to include CMLL in this or whatever. They bring Stephanie Vaquer in. They play promos of her. I think it's Megan Bain because they had Megan Bain signed since 2023 and Camille, and we'll get into that in a minute. And so we'll get Eric Bischoff's thoughts on that precise thing in just a moment. But Stephanie Vaquer wrestles Mercedes Monae. Mercedes Mogan. She books herself in out of 3 matches. She wins 2 belts. Vaquer stole the show. The crowd was behind Vaquer. She's not even in AEW or New Japan or whatever. Like, I guess, were there CMLL fans there? I fucking hold on. Let me ask the soundboard. Were there CMLL fans there? So Vaquer steals the show. Phenomenal. I put it over. We were all saying it's a great match. A lot of these matches have gone too long. If this match was one of the featured matches, this would be whatever. But it was a solid performance, and she really stood out. And even Eric Bischoff was like, yeah, she stood out. Phenomenal performance, et cetera, et cetera. So all of a sudden, WWE swoop in, and they scoop Stephanie Vaquer up off the back of this performance. Now, already, there's big hype behind this girl. There's lots of people interested. They know WWE will take care of her. She's going right away to NXT. Shawn Michaels tweeted it out, which we're going to look at here. So Shawn Michaels tweets out, welcome to the WWE family, Steph Vaquer. See you in Orlando. Everyone go and follow Steph Vaquer. Vaquer. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. But she looks great, has a great look. But AEW, they could have really driven it home that they want her, they want to feature her, whatever. And it was reported that CMLL, I guess, notoriously allows people like out of their contracts when they get big deals. Like, they have no problems doing that. When people want to go to America, they'll just buy this shit out and we'll let you go, and so she's going to NXT. Actually, that Colby dude from Fightful, I'm going to shout him out. He actually tweeted out a good sensible tweet, because a lot of people were like, oh, she's going there. She's going to be in the LWO. Like, everyone's just melting down. Like, look at this person. First name John. Stephanie Vaquer is all elite. A lot of people posted it. Even like people I know are, oh, she's probably AEW bound now. Da-da-da-da-da. But no, she actually a while back, years ago, had a tryout with WWE. And she's been on their radar. And that's what I've put over with AEW before, man. It's good. It's good that AEW exists. for that, like, she had a great showing against Mercedes, who was one of WWE's top talent. Love her or not in AEW, she's one of WWE's top talents, the way they presented her, etc., and her work ethic in that company. And so this girl was more like over with, and it's not just the sickos, like everybody was like, yeah, this girl's pretty goddamn good for what this match is and the little bit of build they give it. So welcome to the family, see you in Orlando. I truly believe, and I talked about this with Ant Evans. I told him this, and he didn't know Tony Khan said this. I was like, yeah, you know, Tony Khan tweeted out something about bald assholes or whatever. And Ant Evans, a bald dude, and he's like, really? You know, he's pretty much just like, fuck that guy. It was pretty funny. Danielson's got color, by the way. Here we go. But here we go now. The sickos. So anyways, though, Vaquer signs to WWE. They swoop in and get her. Now, do you think who would have offered her more money? Tony, who's trying to cut costs, or WWE, right? Now, it's the opportunity as well. And sorry, I'm going to backtrack. I got off topic there, but dude from Fightful tweeted out to his audience and said, yo, the reason she's in NXT is because she needs to acclimate to the American lifestyle and just get in the ring and mix it up with different American styles and talents and stuff like that, which is absolutely true. That's all it is. She'll probably get called up sooner than later. And it's not like, what's the reason to bring her to the main roster? A bunch of these AEW fans were also saying leading up to Forbidden Door, correct me if I'm wrong, folks, but a lot of them said, I saw it online. I don't know if you guys are on X, at Pro Wrestle Times on X. Follow me if you don't already. You know, a lot of people were on there saying like certain AEW fans I see, and I'm one of them, so don't get mad when I group you together like that. But you know, they're like, I don't know Stephanie much about her, but check her out, and here's highlights of this, and da. You know, like it was sort of a thing with Stephanie where everybody's kind of like, who was this? She is going to have a great match, I guess. She's the New Japan Strong, etc., etc. I don't know, dude. I don't know. It's just crazy to now see people burying her before she's ever even stepped foot in the company. She hasn't even got off the plane yet. She ain't even packed her bags yet. And they're already shitting on her, turning on her. And I'm getting tired of it, guys. Like, I'm getting personally, like these people, I'm going to keep covering it till the death of me because we got to remind everybody. We got to let them know. You know what I mean? We got to let them know, like, we've been on to your shit because these people, man, they're just burying her for what? She's about to go potentially wrestle like Julia one day soon, you know, or whatever. Like they just made a North Americans Women's Championship, correct? Where's Stephanie Vaquer from? Am I not mistaken? She's from Mexico, correct? Let me just Google that. Is Mexico and North America? Like, come on, guys. She's Chilean, actually. So, okay, born in whatever. All I'm saying though is that Latino representation. That's what that belt was designed for. It's the Intercontinental belt, but just of their domestic continent. You guys know what I'm saying? So I don't know. They're just fucking hating. Vaquer is a solid talent. I'm not sitting here going she's Julia though. I've actually seen Julia work like. And we'll see. But I have high hopes for her. Does Stephanie George capture for $5? And thank you so much. This is a great. I love getting asked questions. You know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong. I love Dave Meltzer roasts and shit. But I I also love and Young Bucks roasts. But I love like questions like this. Does Stephanie being 5'2" raise any concerns to you, Phil? No, not at all. When people want to go, oh, Marco stunts like Rey Mysterio or Spike Dudley. No, but when it comes to Vaquer, I mean, look at Katana Chance. I think she's like 5'3", and she's a multiple-time tag champion, I believe, in the company. She's been featured prominently. Like, being featured prominently doesn't mean going out there and having a 30-minute banger. It means like, dude, were you in the segments that did the you know what I mean? Fucking people hate on Disco Inferno, right? And he may be annoying sometimes, but call a spade. Like even the Observer admits, yo, this dude was in segments that move numbers and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Or at least I believe that's what Disco claims, but I know that seems to be verified by, people back that up. So, yeah, I'm not concerned with the 5'2". That's like a Rey Mysterio thing, that's she might stand out because of that. Not that she's got to come and do a 630 reverse moonsault, fucking senton, you know, whatever. But it's just, you know, just her presence in the ring, like what she can do. You know what I mean? As far as style matchups, you know what I mean? Which is what I really appreciate. WWE's really focusing on that as well. You know, it feels very sports based, and then you watch NXT and it's like college athlete sports based type stuff. I don't know how to explain it, but they're just on the right track with all of that. We have some news too about Joe Tessitore joining the commentary. Thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate you, bruv. Steph's a looker. I would love her ass in that. Okay. All right, Thirstcast. Are we doing Thirstcast? We're not at enough likes to start doing Thirstcast, guys, okay? We got to get, there's almost 200 of you watching, 73 likes. Let's get to 100 likes, please and thank you. Then I'll stop asking once we hit 100. So even you haters, click that like. So Dave Shearer, friend of the show, he just doesn't know it. Great guy, never met him. Dave Shearer says, dummies get their news from guessers on Twitter, including clueless dopes like Uncle Dave. Smart people, well, they go elsewhere where integrity matters. Speaking of dopes, way to go, Tony Khan. Way to get Steph a job with the competition. It's a marathon, not a sprint. So he goes hard in the paint at Tony, too. But just speaking the reels, dude, I mean, he just, I don't know, man. I don't know. And people, you can hate on Stephanie all you want, but she clearly, I don't know how old she is. Let's look that up as well. Let's look up her age. She's born in 93, so she's like 31. There you go, 31. And I don't know. It's a good age to, like, she's experienced enough to, it's like Ethan Page. Like, why do you think they put the belt on him faster than anyone since Kevin Owens in NXT? He broke the record. Why is that? You know? Because he's got the experience, he's got the reps, he can already do everything that they teach there. You know what I mean? They just are going to now take that talent, cultivate. And I believe the bald assholes comment pissed Shawn Michaels and Triple H off to where they went, we're getting petty. Yeah, we'll just start getting petty now, bud. Let's see how you like that. For $5, Will Chisholm. The next week after Forbidden Door, the next week she was backstage at Heatwave. She already knew where she was going. Holy shit, I didn't even know that. Will Chisholm comes in with $5 and just drops a bombshell. I didn't even know that. Thank you so much for that. So she was at Heatwave, like, she must have known to. Well, okay, here's the thing. People are like, do you think it's because of the match? Yeah, the match and the reception she got from American audiences. Like, okay, WWE didn't know that, like, people, myself, Eric Bischoff, those types of comments. I'm not saying I'm on the radar at all or whatever, but actually they listen to PWT confirmed. I found out today. No, not actually, but maybe people in WWE. But listen, people like us agree that she stood out in that card as well. You know what I mean? Like, on that whole show, she was like a takeaway, like, okay, she's got something. They had to build her up properly. So that match, yes, of course it had something to do with it, her translating to an American audience and then working Monae's half-assed lucha American style with her. And she stood out on Monae, who's a $5 million, $10 million talent, I guess, right? So it did influence it, but they have had their eyes on her for a while. Like, they've been scouting her for a while. She had a tryout, I think, like a few years back maybe. So this isn't, I don't know. She's 31. I just expect her to have some bangers in NXT, and then they'll call her up. And even if she's involved in the LWO or Legado del Fantasma, like, who fucking care? I think it's fucked up that people think it's fucked up that if you were like, races can't be together in a faction too, if that's a thing. Like, it's the Latino world order, bro. You know what I mean? Fucking who cares? I don't get why you're triggered by that, bro. It's so weird to me. But anyways, thank you for the $5. Appreciate you a whole ton. WWE is watching they really are, though. They actually are. That's a fact. I see that in the chat. They really do, bro. They're tapped into social media. You know they are. That's why they do the Joe Hendry shit. They know what they're doing. They know which voices are speaking real shit. They know who aren't, you know, who isn't. I'm hot as shit, guy. I've been misspelling a bunch of stuff. I'm drinking cold beer, trying to stay cool because it is hot as shit. And let's continue along with this Vaquer story, I suppose, because I think there's more to it. So Stephanie Vaquer will be joining WWE on a multi-year contract, according to a source close to negotiations. There was several negotiations, and both WWE and AEW presented their best offers to try to convince her. So Tony was like, "Oh no, come here. Yeah, it'll be great. This is what we'll do.
It's great.
You'll wrestle on Super Card of Honor next month. It'll be great." Jesus. Well, you'll be on All In a three-way with Willow and... She just saw that fucking crowd and was like, yeah, I'm going to the WWE. Her dreams were probably always WWE. Everyone's is, ultimately. Anyone who doesn't say that, I think, is capping. Like, I understand if that's not your vocation at the current present time, and if you're okay with not having done it, it's not cope. Like, no, I'm okay that I never did. Like, that's not cope to me. It's like, no, you know what I mean? I can totally see you getting fulfillment, like doing, if Kenny Omega never went to WWE, he did crazy awesome shit in Japan and stuff like that. He doesn't need to really do it, you know. He just should. For his legacy, like, that's where it'll show everyone, you know. Guys like Hangman, it's like, really show it. We know you can chop battle Danielson and bleed and do a flip off the rope, but tell that story, daddy. Sell a fucking draw house with that. Let's see you take it to the next level and go to WrestleMania. Latino heat is a lifestyle. Yeah, dude. Ask Liv Morgan. Mercedes is chewing a tire right now. She's pissed. I don't know why your Tony cracks me up some. Well, it's because it's an authentic impression. Because although it's not like his voice, it's I need a soda water. Pardon me 1 second. No, it's just, yeah, it's because it's fucking hilarious. Everything's great. It's great. It's Mickey Mouse's Wonderland. But he's just on edge and nervous and drinking soda waters, gulping them down, and just has a smile and wide eyes and just, I don't know, dude. It just embodies it. I feel like the voice embodies it. Thank you, Pliny and Pixel Art, for that as well. Thanks. Good to see you here and you're not doing homework. Sounds like Morty. Yeah, it's great. And it's like this.
It's great.
This is great. Okay, anyways, guys. So I think I got more on the Vaquer story as well. Let's just keep scrolling along and see what I have bookmarked. This is going to be an all over the place show to... What was this? Oh, yeah. We're going to talk about the Motor City Machine Guns 2 got fumbled by AEW. There's hilarious stories this week, guys. It's not even funny. Yeah, I think that's all the stuff I have on Vaquer. So I wish her nothing but the best, and I think she's going to really stand out on NXT, but I don't think they'll keep her there long. She's like a sort of like a Lyra Valkyria. Like, they're going to want to get her up there as quick as they can. I feel like they just have to acclimate. Here's this happened a while ago. This one's funny. So yeah, round of applause for Vaquer, folks. I guess making the right decision, going to the big leagues. So here's a hilarious. This happened a while ago, but we're going to cover it here. So at Alyssa, holy shit! Here's yet another reminder that this is a public platform, and wrestlers do have a chance of seeing the stupidity you tweet at them, and I love it. So Ricky Starks, so Auntie Wrestling. Do you guys know who this is? I don't have a fucking I'm totally unfamiliar, actually. Just everybody's like, oh, everyone hates on her. I don't know. And I guess she hates on a lot of people as well. But this was like a cringe tweet. And she goes, so Ricky Starks posts like a modeling picture. Dude looks like he could be working for like Ralph Lauren or something. And Auntie Wrestling quote tweets it and goes, don't talk about the excellent Dynamite. Talk about me, attention whore. Like, so referring to like he didn't, because she's mad at him because he didn't tweet out about come watch Dynamite tonight. That's, I don't know, man. That's so weird to me. And then he quote tweets her and goes, shut the fuck up. And then he responds to it and goes, at Auntie Wrestling, damn, no one in the community fucks with you. That's crazy, LMAO. I didn't even know. Oh, I love love it, man. He's gonna do real good in WWE, probably NXT as well. Let's scroll to the bottom. We're just gonna work our way through Phil Marks bookmarks. Sitting all over the place. We're gonna save some Meltzer. So, guys, in case you're not familiar with the Meltzer Said What segment, of course you guys all are, but now, pardon me, well, it's the Meltzer dumb moment of the week, but we just typically always use all of Meltzer Said What shit in the segment. He does 90% of my work for me, and then I get the credit for it and all the glory. But no, he's a really good dude, and we've been chopping it up like all the time, and he knows that there's a zero annoyance policy, and he can just DM me 1,000 fucking things. Anything he feels that needs to be brought to the show, we have a direct line to the GOAT, okay? So the Dave stuff is just getting sweeter. It's just getting better. Oh, my goodness. We have a $5 super chat. Kid Con booking MJF and Ospreay on free to air. Does that reek of desperation to boost rating to get a TV deal? Money is no object to this fool. We're going to fucking blast you in the air. You summed it up, and it's actually what you're saying is correct and true. Okay, Andrew Zarian, I covered it on the last show. Even this week, I was like, we're going to live react to AEW's mega main event this week. And people are like, what the fuck's a mega main event, Phil? And I'm like, dude, I don't know, but it's what Andrew Zarian said. So Andrew Zarian said, oh, like this week or next week, whatever. But it's actually next week. So he was off, but I guess to them, a mega main event. Dave Meltzer, oh, they have super wrestlers. And then a mega main event. I like Zarian, but come on now. And I guess it's MJF Ospreay free TV international title. So it is like, yo, we need to drum up hype before Wembley. That's what it's all about. We need to drum up hype before Wembley, and we need to get people as interested as possible. Because what else do they have, you know? And that is a great match. That is like the Wembley match. Everybody's like, it's going to be MJF Ospreay. So is it hot shot booking? I don't know. Will it pop a rating? I mean, maybe. What do you guys think this Dynamite does? We'll see after the show's done. I don't like to predict it until after I see the show, you know? I know Awful will come in here and go, I predict 620,000 or whatever, but I don't like to say that until like I watch the actual show. Like to completion, you know, pause. But yeah, thank you for that. Thank you for that comment there, because I did want to touch on that. Oh my goodness, Ray J's World for $10. I got to Conan. Get a Conan too. I heard on Bischoff's show. We're gonna tap into that, and it's I forgot to do that. I'm gonna play that clip in a second, but I heard on Bischoff's show, Shad Khan is angry with the Jags about free agents. Do your TK impression, trying to convince his dad, I need to buy up more free agents. I don't. The only problem, Ray J's World, is hold on, soda water. The only problem with that is I don't know enough football players' names. I guess I know some legends though. We could get Bledsoe here, or maybe Brady. No, Dad, we can't cut costs. I have to get Stephanie Vaquer over here, or HBK is going to steal her from me. Oh my God. This is great. It'll be the best show ever. We'll just book our hottest 2 talents on we'll hotshot book them in 2 weeks. And fumble Motor City Machine Guns. We're going to get into that too. Sorry. I probably just annoyed a bunch of fucking people. Oh my goodness. Okay. I tried to give it to you. It's hot as shit. It's hard to do funny Tony Khan when you're. Thank you so much. So I'm having a round of applause to you, man. For you a lot. We got a ref bump. Jeff Jarrett's standing on the fucking sitting on the ramp for this super long match. They got juice. It's not even the main event. Crazy. You just ruin the whole rest of the show. Like there's nothing to look forward. No one's gonna get juice and whipped with a belt. There's gonna be no ref bumps later, you know, unless there is. But it's like they just blew their wad here. It's all ass backwards. What's your thoughts on how Seth versus Punk Heat potentially got null and void with Priest dropping the gentleman's bet? Can you elaborate on that, you ain't hype? Can you explain to me what you mean here? What's your thoughts on how Seth versus Punk Heat potentially got null and void with Priest dropping the gentleman's bet? So you're awesome, Phil. I'm sorry if we love it. Okay, good. I was gonna say I probably just annoyed the shit out of everybody. Okay. how do I feel? I don't think it's null and void. Like, that's a fight that's always there. Do you know what I'm saying? Seth versus Punk, like, people are saying it's going to be a 3-way at SummerSlam. Fuck no. Why would you do that? I'd rather see a 3-way with, like, Gunther and Priest, or maybe not with Seth. I don't know. Like, Gunther and Priest feels like it needs Seth in it to balance it out. Maybe they do that match. Like, it is a 3-way. I don't fucking know. But to me, those are just standalone feuds that don't need the belt, that don't need anything else. And yeah, I'm not worried about any heat cooling off. It's always there. It's like a real fight that people feel like is real, sort of. You know what I mean? Without BBT lead. But thank you so much for the super chat. Jeff is now the ref. Yeah. Look at how they're honoring Owen. Yeah, with just thank you for that super chat. I really appreciate that a lot. And for the question. Because, yeah, that's another topic that's been coming up. Is it a 3-way? Nah, just let them play the feud out. Like, there's you fucking multiple feuds until WrestleMania. You got other big shows. You got the Rumble. They could just have a big match at the Rumble, too, whatever. This is idiotic. Yeah, I'm just tuning out, guys. I'm trying to... Here, I'm going to play you guys a clip. So I got, for briefly a moment, I was featured on Eric Bischoff's show here. I sent him a good old snooper-duper chat. And he answered my question, and it popped me, actually. He cracked a good joke, and this shit popped me for realsies. And he's got a dope collar and elbow shirt on. I love collar and elbow. Shout them out. Sponsor me. For real, though, I like your shit. Here we go, though. Let's play Eric Bischoff answering my question about Vaquer and Megan Bain and Camille. Not even a question, just me making a statement. Sometimes it's like, here, I just got to let this be heard.
What do we got? Super Day, Pro Wrestle Clips.
Yeah.
Tony Khan has Camille and Megan Bain sitting at home being paid since 2023 for nothing. Come on now. It's not going to be the pot calling some kettle black on that
one. Dude, he keeps it real. Let's fucking oh my God. Look at his face, too. He's like, hey, man, you're not going to. I paid a lot of dudes to sit home, too. So oh,
truth is the truth. Vaquer was more over than Monae. Yes. I'm sorry. I'm reading slow. Vaquer was more over than Monae and is going to the big times. Absolutely. And I said that. I think I covered that show. In fact, I know we did. And I pointed out, I'm going to go back and listen to my own comments. But I did make a mental note. And I think I did point out that I thought she looked really good because I had never seen her before. And now that you pointed out, I don't want to say she looked better than Mercedes, but I think the expectation was a little higher for Mercedes, obviously. And perhaps Stephanie exceeded hers and perhaps Mercedes didn't. That's my take on it.
Fuck yeah. Shout out fucking Eazy-E for, let's give him a round of applause. But you got to admit, that was funny when he's like, hey, brother, I ain't the pot calling the kettle black over here, all right? That's hilarious, dude. That popped me out loud a couple times, obviously. Which tab am I sharing here? I don't want to open the wrong one. Okay, yeah, and then, guys, surprisingly, Martha Hart's coming out, but surprisingly, Danielson won, so they're just banking on a big, like, yes, because he's allowed to do it. Do you know why? Because WWE don't want smoke from lawsuits, and he's allowed to now. They don't want any Laurinaitis shit or any weird shit being brought up or like, not that it would anybody's whatever, but from what I've heard, I'm a dirt sheet now. I was over here, now I'm over there now. But yeah, they just, from everything I'm hearing, is they just don't want any like lawsuits. Not that you can just like go blatantly steal their IP, but it's just like, it's Danielson did the yes thing. What are they going to be like? No, you can't do yes. You know, it's just the word yes. He doesn't have shirts that say yes or anything like that. He just does the taunt. It's like toes the line of like maybe actionable, but they don't want to deal with bad press and shit like that right now. You know what I mean? Yeah. And Conan I watched the whole damn thing. I tuned in and I had to drop a little super chat there. And I was actually recording with Ant Evans, and I don't know if he produces that show. I thought he was going to appear on it, or he's like, there's an emergency podcast, whatever, I got a jet. So he was doing my show, went to do Eric's, and I don't know if he's producing it behind the scenes or what, but he's going to come. He'll be on this weekend. You guys will see that interview. Probably. I'm hoping so. It's timely. It's relevant. It's not like we talk about anything it's more about like stuff that happened before. And man, he gives me some juice. He goes hard on TNA and Tony Khan in TNA as well and shit. So it's good stuff. Here, I'm just watching this segment here, and then we'll dive back into. We're just firing off bookmarks here today, guys. We're gonna save the Dave stuff. So Danielson won. I mean, that was a good final match. I actually like Hangman, honestly. Like, I don't ever really hate on his matches. We were kind of checked out because it's so long. It got idiotic when Jeff Jarrett became the referee, and we're going to see Swerve and Danielson. I think because Danielson does this elevate Swerve? I feel like, if anything, this sort of undermines Swerve a bit further because it's. Or maybe it doesn't. Maybe I'm wrong. Chat, tell me if I'm wrong about that. I just feel like there's not a lot of like, look, this is like, it doesn't feel like this is the prize at the end of this thing. And, oh, you get him at Wembley. It's like, well, he was just, I guess he's had some big matches. I guess they shoehorned in Alfred Konuwa just cooked Ospreay for that. Yeah, I put him over because I don't want everyone to think he's a jobber, even though that's what I guess we think that of him too. So I don't know. I'm okay with this start of Dynamite, but we're gonna see another match that goes on for too long, and then we're gonna be like, okay, well, it just killed what, like, they did everything. What's the main event gonna do? Bloody you up and beat you down and ref bumps and a guy takes his shirt off and is the ref now? Like, you did everything in one there, dude. You can't do anything greater than that in the main event. So that's what's crazy. It's like you want to build up. Yes, there's ebbs and flows, highs and lows, but you want to build up to something at least. Okay, so moving along here. Let's see. Here's this dude. There's a dude that smokes a J in Minecraft, and he does it during his match. So let's just watch this guy. That, I don't know, it's a clip that I thought was hilarious. And he's like, here, pass the joint. Like, watch this guy.
Every day.
I'm gonna get pulled for that. He blows the smoke in his face. Look at him. He's on the top rope, walking it, smoking a dude. Like, what is this? Oh my God. I'm not mad at it at all, but it's like, you really don't want a job in the Fed, do you, bro? In WWE, dog. You really ain't worried about that, are you, man? That's crazy. That's awesome. Yeah, so here's Starks cooking Auntie. We saw that. And I'm not like super familiar with Auntie as well, so don't come after me. Everyone's like, oh, she comes after people. I'm like, oh, well, I don't know her. So, leave me out of that crazy shit. I don't know, dude. So anyways, we got some more crazy shit here, of course. Copium, AIR Gold, who just like blocked me eventually, and I never was rude to him. I just tried to speak rationally with him, or be like, dude, like, you can come here and talk to me and justify how you view it this way, and we can whatever. AEW had the best bloody segment of the year. MJF and Garcia greater than Rock, Cody, and it's not even close.
Liar!
That's crazy, man. That is crazy, bro. Yeah, avoid these dudes. I'm okay that he blocked me, but you guys know I'm interested in, like, I would gladly just love to dissect, unless they're trolling, you know? You can get mad at me for my opinions, but at least I'm not trolling, you know? Like, fully. Like, yeah, I'm trolling being funny and doing bits and skits and bits, but I'm not when I go off on a wrestler, I'm being genuine about it, you know? Here's Dave Meltzer stuff. Here's more Bischoff. Let's play some Bischoff here. Easy E, cop the merch. That shit's fly. And I have some merch coming for you guys too. That's really fucking nice. That has been made, and it's coming soon. We're gonna get that all out there, and it's nothing. Everything's just gonna be limited to, like, I'm not trying to, you know. So it'll be a little bit. I don't know. We'll see how you guys like it, and if you like it or whatever, if you buy it or whatever, I don't know. But it's nice shit. Trust me. It's like really good, clean stuff, and I'm very like proud of how it turned out. unexpectedly as well. But here's oh, come on now, Phil. We're trying to talk about Eric Cook and AEW Dynamite and the Young Bucks with Conrad Thompson take on Okada's Monae. So here we go.
And I was responding to a tweet somebody made tonight too, and same point. You know, you get a great reaction. This is awesome. You get the crowd gets way up from the crazy high spots, and they go to sleep until the next one. It's horrible for television. I mean, I was watching the crowd as much as I was watching the action tonight, and that crowd was DOA. They were DOA until there was some crazy high spot. By the way, did that elite match suck or what?
Oh boy.
Can we talk?
And guys, if we're getting old shit too, don't get mad at me. Oh, I already heard this on another show. Don't worry. You know what I'm saying? I was on vacay. All right. And then I got a bunch of interviews. So the pod's been more interview review oriented. All right. We got to catch up on some things here.
Talk about how bad that was.
You're talking about Scissor Ace versus the Elite. So it's the
Talking about Scissor Ace. Talking about Scissor Ace.
You what?
Oh, fuck, man. And I love Tanahashi. I like the Acclaim too, but god damn it.
Acclaimed and Tanahashi taking on the Young Bucks and Okada. On paper, that seems like a crazy match. You didn't dig it.
It was the shits. If we would have shot that on WCW Saturday Night back in 1992, and it was a tape show, we would have either reshot it or not air it. That was fucking horrible. These guys are supposed to be the best. These are representative of the company where the best wrestle. That match sucked.
Yeah, and Okada's just knows, like, Okada's just on some big money and is like, yeah, I gave my best years to New Japan, pretty much. You can tell, like, he ain't even in shape. Like you said, I'm not a body shamer, dude, but we're talking about a business of bodies, and we all can, right? I don't got to explain it to chat. I don't got to explain it to the PWT universe. You guys understand that. But in case you're a new listener here, this, you know, let me just preface it with that. But it's just like, he's not even like he used to be big and jacked, and you'd look at him and you're like, not like jacked, but he was a big like 6'4" dude that was like athletic, and you're like, this guy could fuck you up, you know. And now it's he looks fucking flabby like the Bucks. What are these guys doing? You know, I know money makes it's hard to train, I guess, when you're waking up in silk sheets, they say, or whatever, but god damn it, there's like boxers who do it and they go and really fight and punch each other in the head and they got millions of dollars. So come on, you know what I mean?
They did not give a shit. They didn't even phone it in. They yelled it from across the parking lot. That was so bad. Am I the only one? I want to hear what everybody else thinks. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's something going on there I just didn't see, but that match was, oh, that was horrible.
I had high hopes for this whole Elite taking over AEW storyline. It doesn't feel like they're putting as much steam behind it.
Man, he just he went in on it. You guys want to hear Conrad, or you want to move on? I got lots to get to tonight, so we can I have another clip. It's 14 minutes long. It's Cornet. I haven't heard it. It's going off on Meltzer's Dynamite ratings, and it came out 48 minutes ago. So do we listen to that, guys? You know what I mean? I could tee that up. Chat can tell me what to do. Make sure you're hitting that like button, please. There's been like 200 of y'all's in here. Fluctuating. We're at 97 likes. So 3 of you guys hit that like, please. And then I'll just stop asking. Don't worry. And I appreciate you all so much tapping in. What's up, buddy? Whoa, Conrad. Wiggle, 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 woo. Okay, so let's see. Yes, play it, Cornet. Yeah, Conrad, it's like we know, and this is old news too. We're talking Forbidden Door. We're already well beyond that here. We'll talk contract stuff in a minute. Let me just get Cornet. This is a long one, guys, but if you're down, I mean, Dynamite's on. We can do this. You know, shout out Castle Cornet. I'm assuming, you know, this will get heard at some point over that way. So let's EFAP it, I guess, together. And yes, at Blood and Guts, sorry, I was listening to that promo as well. So Swerve is captain for Team AEW at Blood and Guts. Yay, exactly. He's so it's they're building at least the world champ is involved in not like a world title match where then it can build to more story going into a world title match. I'm okay with that. But who's going to be the members? Fucking Orange Cassidy's going to be on team. I just, you know what I mean? Conrad is an offense sitter. He built the damn fence, and then mortgaged it out. Plenty in here. I got, sorry, buddy. It's not coming up green here. So it's just, it's if you switch to the other channel, Plinian, it'll come up green, but we don't worry about that. I see you in the chat. It kind of reminds me of my grandfather's Parkinson's when he was still around. Okay, come on now. Now we're getting sad. Speaking of Bad Blood title, Bad Blood. I did think it was coming back because God damn it, they're getting more rated R superstar. No, they're just getting more like not so PG. So Bad Blood was a great name for a pay-per-view, historic. Bad Blood to me was always one. It was one that I never thought they'd get rid of, to be honest. But yeah, we started getting like some of them were getting weird. Turbo Zoom. What were they called? Fast Lane, Great Ball of Fire. Like all these, we were getting some weird ones for a while. We'll talk about Penn. We'll talk about the Motor City Machine Guns, all of that. But let's jump over to Jim Cornette. We might as well. You guys want it. You guys dictate what we do here at PWT for the most. Actually, I'm the boss. Okay, I am God. However, you guys do can dictate the pace of things because I love you all. If you haven't, no, that wasn't a joke. Legit concerned. How can any team have trouble beating the Elite? A bunch of wrestlers who are 5'5", 150. It's true, dude. I have to think Darby is going to be a part of AEW, Team AEW. Absolutely. Tony Khan, I guarantee will get involved in the match somehow. Marco Stunt and Adam Cole. So I was going to talk about that too. Marco fucking Stunt came back. Are you guys, Bad Blood is in my town too. Go to it. Yes, Great Balls of Fire. Okay. Taboo Tuesday? No, because the Marks would ruin it. We can't ever do Taboo Tuesday again. Marks would ruin it. They ruined it then. And like the cage match people would be the guys who vote on it, and it would ruin every match. Okay, let's get into Jim Cornette here. Let's play some Cornette. Dropped 48 minutes ago.
I think we can kind of do it now. Let's talk about if anyone got hurt on Wednesday night. We finally have some version of the ratings.
Good Lord, it has been there. This was last Wednesday, July 3rd's AEW program. It's now Monday, July the.
Yeah, so I actually don't know the ratings, I don't think, unless I was made aware and I'm just blanking. But I actually don't think I was personally made aware. So they're going to inform me here. And then when I hear the number, I will recall. I am I'm losing my shit covering all this Meltzer stuff, guys. I'm sorry.
What does that say? 8th, and we're just now getting these quarter hours.
And WrestleNomics has not published them, so we only have what Dave Meltzer has published as of right now.
Oh, so we're taking this with a grain of Epsom salts and possibly some bleach.
Possibly. WrestleNomics gave us the overall number. Well, they sent out an email with the overall number.
Oh, they said, don't tell anybody, but here's what it is, guys.
688,000 viewers on average. Again, this is Wednesday, July 3rd, 8 to 10:16 p.m. 688,000. That's up from 680 last week.
Well, but then everybody was wringing their hands and clutching their pearls about last week. And now they're going to, well, this was the day before a holiday. So I understand it used to be it's a holiday. I could accept that. But then it became it's a day before a holiday, a day after the holiday. It's a holiday weekend. Didn't there always used to be days and weekends before and after holidays, and it still didn't just continue to?
Do we know if it's a one-off, bro? It shouldn't have ever even happened. I pray to God. Like, what the fuck, dude? They got anti-viewers for Marco Stunt. Crazy. Anyways, let's keep going here. I'm interested. I never heard this yet, so now I'm really Cornette's got me here. We'll play a flute at the end of it.
Perform like shit.
It's blamed on a lot of things by a lot of people. Another one you hear is that people have dropped cable, but then reports have surfaced recently that the drop in AEW viewership far outpaces the actual drop in cable.
Yes, if people are trying to decide.
That's facts.
Apparently, the more of them are dropping AEW first than dropping cable.
Less people have cable, and less of those people are watching AEW. I guess that's the best way of saying it.
It's a double whammy. All right. Well, what information is Uncle Dave perpetuating here?
According to this report on the Wrestling Observer newsletter website, the major key, he says, is that 18 to 34 was way up.
And they just moved that number. Is it 18 to 45 or 18 to 49 or 18 to 34? This is why we focus on the fucking numbers, the Nielsen and all that shit. Because that's what they're talking about when they go, well, the key demo was up for this. Oh, but the overall rate, well, don't talk about that.
That's a demo we haven't really heard before. 18 to 34.
There's another country heard from. Well, they were way up, way up, way up, Jerry.
Now, I'm not diminishing it being a real thing, but it's something that's never been cited before for AEW. But
was that the only thing that was way up?
Well, let's see.
That may be why it was cited.
Besides being, let's see.
Jim. Jesus.
Even with the disadvantage Cable has, it was way up in that demo. Dynamite was the top-rated show for the night on television for the night. Dynamite was
read it verbatim now. We don't want to take anything out of context or misquote Uncle Dave. Read it like he wrote it.
Dynamite was the top-rated show for the night on television for the night. NTBS, for primetime as a whole, was the highest-rated station for the night.
Yeah, I saw that, Jonesy. Max Caster he did a whole music video roasting the Elite. It was pretty funny. Not gonna lie. I was listening to it while I was also listening to this, and Samoa Joe's coming out with the learning tree, and it's about to be some hilarious shit. As we listen to Jim Cornette, we're about to watch exactly why AEW's where in the state it's in. Let's go.
Besides being second behind The Price is Right in all of television in 18 to 49, it was first on television in 18 to 34. We're now going to harp on this one. They can't use 18 to 49 anymore, so now it's going to be 18 to 34, and then it'll be 18 to 29, and they're really big at 18 to 19.
I think they're going to hit their sweet spot between 24 and 26.
All right, let me scroll down. Dave does not break it down as nicely as WrestleNomics does, I have to say. This is
I can't imagine why.
This is one of those areas where WrestleNomics has really done well, and
Dave's brain must.
Yeah, love him or hate him. I know we cook Thurston sometimes. I know he catches some heat from awful, but yeah, they do good work. They really do.
To be as cluttered as his office, he's got things up there, but he just can't get them out in an orderly fashion.
The show did 1.53 viewers per home, which is AEW Glory Day level numbers. And 62.2% male and 18 to 49.
So fewer people are watching, but at least of the people that are watching, more of them are in the same home.
From 1 year ago.
Do you think is this a series of county and state homes across the country?
I'm not sure, but from 1 year ago, the show was down 19.5%.
Yeah, AEW Glory Days, 19%. It's down 19%. It's so funny. Here, he took his hat. So Joe and Jericho are throwing down. I'm going to do color while we got Aubrey Edwards in there. So this will be fun. And here we go. Let's see Joe and Jericho go at it. He's hitting his shit. When significant stuff happens, I'm going to pause it and we're going to react, okay?
Which was on July 5th last year. It was down 21.1% in 18 to 49, but it was up 8.5% in 18 to 34. Factoring homes that lost cable over the year, the real numbers would be down 14.5% in viewers, 13.9 in 18 to 49, and 18.
The real numbers based on your math guesstimations, Dave? Can't you just say estimated this, not the real numbers? Woo-hoo-hoo! I love this. Here we go. Let's keep going.
0.5% up in 18 to 39. Did you get all that?
I've got it right here. I was taking notes. According to this, Uncle Dave needs an increase in his medication.
All right, let's see. The show opened. It doesn't have the quarter, like the times or anything. Quarter one, usually it's 8 to 8:15 p.m. This was MJF, Daniel Garcia, and Matt Menard, and the start of Pac versus Bryan Danielson. 733,000 viewers.
Oh, and a ratings breakdown. Let's go. And we get a star rating. Let's go. This is like a holiday treat. What's going on here? My word. Conan. Yeah, here, I'll give you a Conan. Let's do it. Let's do it. All right. I appreciate you. Here we go. Let's keep going with this. Yeah, how about you give me the numbers and let me determine what's real, Dave? I don't need a math lesson. Yeah, and I don't need you to just speculate and not say that like, well, like he could say that and it would be fine. I'm estimating it'd be like this if you adjust it, but it's a complete guess. However, just based on trends, this is the estimate. Not here's the real numbers.
Okay, now were the big bangers were on this week? It wasn't the Black Panther, was it? It was the annoying white people?
I believe so.
So they're dropping with what they're handing off to AEW.
And for those of you listeners who
we've got horseshoes in the ring now. Yeah, I guess Cowboys and Calgary for sure. It's progressively become less of that, I would say, but over the years. But I mean, it's a thing. So you see the guys in the front row with the hats, and there's some ladies if you look around. You know what I mean? It's a good atmosphere. Like this crowd's pretty hot for like how small it is, you know. I mean, the fans there are probably happy. Oh, I can get beers quicker because there's less. That's what happened to me. I was like, oh, I can get beers real quick because there's no one here. And I had a whole row to myself with my girlfriend, a whole row, like right at the front of like right behind where the announce desk and that would be for WWE. I don't know if they place it there all the time for Dynamite or not anymore. I don't know how they said they change it every goddamn time. Anyways, more on Dynamite, Meltzer, Jim Cornette. They're breaking down last week's show as we watch Joe kick the shit out of Jericho.
Touch after the last time we talked about this and said, I don't understand why you don't like the Big Bang Theory. It's such a great show. We respectfully disagree.
Yes.
I think it's dog shit. Horrible.
Is that respectful?
Yeah, I could say a whole lot worse.
Oh, well, you're true there. All right. So if they started at 733,000, they've got to hold somewhat most of their audience to hit their average because they're starting so much lower than normal.
Okay, now I'm going to assume that Dave's referring to quarter two because he never actually breaks down the times or anything. Quarter two, which would be 8:15, 8:30 p.m. According to Dave, the rest of Danielson versus Pac and interviews with Willow Nightingale and Mark Briscoe, 688,000 viewers.
And that's their overall average. So they're going to be fluctuating. That I don't know what's going to happen here. I'm
Jim trying to make sense of the shit. Oh, bud, we're in the same boat.
I'm biting my nails here. I'm on the edge of my seat. It's because of hemorrhoids.
Then the next segment listed again with no time. I'm going to assume it's quarter three.
You motherfuckers in the chat with the horseshoes in the ring. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh my god. You guys, oh my, they showed a few Calgary 10s. They did, bro. Those are Calgary fucking 10s. Holy shit. Hold on a second. Yo, the horseshoes with Aubrey in the ring. Y'all know this is going to get memed. Don't do this. Oh my God. I try to be kind. Chat's undefeated, though. We can't do nothing about that. Bro, okay, someone send me a meme. This is here, chat. I'm tasking you. Send me a meme of the horseshoes with Aubrey Edwards. Best one, I'll give a free membership to the channel. If you already have one, then we'll figure it out. We'll figure out a prize. How about that? But you get me a meme in the Discord. There's a meme section in the Discord. Horseshoes, Aubrey. You guys know what to do. I don't want to come up with it and be blamed for the shit. You know what I'm saying? And here, Michael Driard Fun fact, AEW production applies peanut butter to Aubrey Ed's gums to get her to move her mouth for the talking effect. Jesus Christ. You guys are going incredibly hard. Joining us on the show, ladies and gentlemen, and I appreciate him doing this so much, former WWE superstar, former TNA superstar, if you will. That's what they call him on NXT. And legend in my eyes, man. I grew up watching this guy. Matt Morgan is here with us. A round of applause. What's happening, Matt?
What's up? Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I hear you great, man. How are you doing?
Good Lord. What part of the portion of the show that I start on?
Are you watching? So are you watching Dynamite currently?
I'm trying to, yes.
Okay. And so are you aware that there are horseshoes scattered throughout the ring with Samoa Joe and Chris Jericho fighting in a street fight and Aubrey Edwards in the ring, and there's horseshoes everywhere?
Horrible. You all are horrible. Horrible human beings, I tell you.
Oh, my goodness.
Real quick, not to sound like a complete tool here, but huge fan of your show. Love how you cover stuff. And people think you're not like honest or equal with AEW. That's bullshit. You are. You try to keep it straight while at the same time clowning the things that deserve to be clowned. And that's why I'm here.
Man, I just appreciate you so much coming from you. It's like, dude, I was watching you and big booting the shit out of my little brother when I was younger. So I mean, it's yeah, man, it's just a pleasure to have you here, and I'm a fan of you. So it's mutual, and yeah, I'm sure the listeners are definitely excited. I wasn't actually anticipating it tonight, but I'm super stoked you're here, and you've been going at Meltzer as well as much as I have lately. It's not like a gimmick, right? Like it's something I find I show when he's right about things as well, you know, but I get a kick out of it. We were texting and you were explaining to me, you know, like Meltzer affects people's careers. Could you just sort of like reiterate that or sort of, you know, because it's so important and I can't speak from that perspective. You know, I never laced up the boots and went and did the damn thing. You've been at the peak. You've been in there with the best. Like tell the listeners about that, you know?
So on one hand, right, I'm not saying this to kiss ass, I'm saying because it's the truth. Historically speaking, he's very good when wrestlers pass away of giving them their just due and their flowers, what they meant to the business. The families get a big thrill from that, obviously. I know I do as a wrestling fan when I read them. All right, but the problem is when I started wrestling, and I started in 2001, 2002, after Tough Enough, season 2, I noticed this trend where WWE would pretend not to listen to what Meltzer says, but they're full of crap. They were listening to portions of things that Dave would say, all right, and they would utilize him. So for that reason, if you're not some fine, no offense, but some like spot monkey, you know, undersized 5-star technical wizard, okay, like a Dean Malenko that can wrestle circles around people,
right?
Okay, then he could absolutely affect your job. He can absolutely affect what you get paid, believe it or not, because as we saw that went on with time in the late 2010s, I would argue, in the 2010s, his opinion started to matter more and more and more and more. And people were getting signed. As lazy as that sounds, it's lazy on Scout's part, right? You should go see those talents in person. And Triple H changed that by having Regal and people actually go scout these talents overseas and here in our states. And they changed it, thank God. But before that, everything was based on that damn Observer newsletter. And because of that, if you didn't kiss his ass, you didn't wrestle a certain style that he liked, then he'd bury you. I mean, I remember coming out of there, this dude was listening to me at 6'8", coming out of Tough Enough. I'm like, 6'8"? I was like 6'8" as a freaking freshman in high school. Like, what is this guy doing? I got one thing, it's my size. He's killing me already at the gym.
Yeah, and that stuff matters. Like those are like things that matter, you know. So it's just sort of undermining you and whatnot. And so yeah, we were listening to this Jim Cornette clip. He's going hard at Meltzer.
Bro, he goes the hardest in the paint on Meltzer. It's the best.
Yeah, so they just dropped this clip like 48 minutes ago. So we just whipped it on while we're watching Dynamite. Jericho now has Samoa Joe on a pallet on a forklift backstage with Big Bill. and they're gonna crash him into something. Oh my God, please don't die. They drove him through a wall. I hope Joe's okay.
Poor Joe.
Your thoughts on like what Jericho's doing now, and like I mean, have you worked? I mean, you spent so much time. Have you? Yeah, you've probably been in there with both these gents, correct?
Yeah, both of them. But I don't know what to make of it, because on one hand, Chris has go away heat, technically, right? While at the same time, I've never seen anybody with go away heat lean into it.
Yeah,
and he is leaning into it.
Like, for example, Colt Cabana's on the screen, and that's going to piss a lot of people off. Sorry, go ahead, Matt.
You're correct. But like, for instance, the more TV time with Chris Jericho, like, that's pretty funny. I would be lying if I said I didn't pop when I saw that. But at the same time, it's like he keeps reinventing himself, and I know people may not want to hear that. But there's this not underbelly, it's now the overbelly, and people don't want to see him anymore. And I don't know what to make of it yet. I'm like 50-50 on it, right? Because sometimes I laugh at the new gimmick, but on the other hand, is he doing anything for the newer talent? And in certain instances, I guess he is, because he's losing, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
After beating them first, and then he goes 50-50 with them, is what sort of how I feel about it.
Is that what it is? Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. He like pins. I think he like beat Takeshita or whatever, and then he like let Takeshita beat him after or whatever. Yeah, he beat him like in a street fight, or he pinned him in a street fight, or he like went to like Pro Wrestling Noah and beat him or something, and then he's like, "Well, I'll let him beat me later." And then it happened so many months later that it didn't really fucking. If he even beat him, chat will correct me if he even beat him. But anyway, sorry. Yeah,
you should not be losing, but I'll digress.
What about Joe though? What about Joe? He just got crashed through a wall. They went to commercial break. You've worked Joe. He's like one of my all-time top 3, 5, of all time. So
he's authentic. He is what he's advertised as, and he's a giving guy. And now he's with a company where they all, and it doesn't get talked about enough, they do try to give more than what they take in each other's matches. Problem with that, Joe's a killer. Joe needs to be booked as a killer in the story, just killing people. That's how I book Joe, because he still looks that way. He still works that way, especially with the rest of these cats in that company that are very undersized. And I would argue couldn't fight the way out of a paper bag in a real fight, but that's neither here nor there.
Geez, you want to listen to this Jim Cornette clip with me? You want to? Okay, let's do it, man. Here, let's play it. Let's and let me know if you're hearing this okay, or let me know if you're not, I guess. But yeah, he's basically, they're breaking down the quarter hours. This is of last week's show, and then they might have star ratings, and they already covered how Dave was going, oh, well, the 18-49 was nothing, but like the 18-35 was the best it's been since the peak of AEW. And it's just so Tony Khan. Here, let's listen to what Jim's got to say. This is awesome. I'm EFAPing a video with Matt Morgan. I never thought that would ever happen. So this is amazing, guys. Let's go. PWT. Let's continue.
8:45 to 8:30 to 8:45. Excuse me.
Yes, that's what it would be.
That's what it would be. The in-ring with Briscoe, the Elite, and the Acclaimed, plus a Tony Storm and Mariah May interview. 715,000 viewers. This segment was also the peak in 18-34.
So, Matt, are you into the Tony, Mariah May, Mina stuff? Like, we put it over all the time on this podcast. I'm sure you listen in and how do you like it? It's grabbing ratings. People want to watch Mina and Tony in that,
Okay. Is it being the world's tallest short person, though, is my question. Because the rest of the ratings are in the shitter. So if the ratings are in the shitter, let's say they're at point, what was it, 700 something thousand. And they do 700, let's pretend they did 780,000. Does that, like, you see what I'm saying? Like, Tony Storm should be doing better, in my opinion, even better than this. Because her gimmick, I love her gimmick. I love her character. I love her commitment to it. Holy crap. Like, she's got some chops, like more than I ever had, that's for sure. And I love what she's doing. They're trying to like spread it. And when I used to work for Cornet, he used to have the saying of "Don't get any on you," meaning you work in an angle or in a gimmick or with a character or against another character that is so lamered and shit that you don't want to get any of their ish on you, so to speak.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't like how they're spreading Tony that way in this direction, just because, no offense, the mainstream wrestling fan has no idea who that other female talent is. Mariah May's over. They know who she is. She's getting over, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. They all are. Yeah. Mina's just like, she's got just the sex appeal, and you just put her in with Tony doing great promo work and like her shit kind of goes like semi-viral. Same with Mariah May. Like, she's on social media, she posts a picture, it gets like a bunch of likes, so that's just shared around, it's not hard to see why. And here, I actually got a super chat with a question for you, Matt. Who came up with the blueprint gimmick for Matt? I'm sure you've probably answered this type of question a bunch of times, but hey, if maybe there's somebody new here who's maybe not familiar, who knows, right? So who came up with the blueprint gimmick?
I was in Ohio Valley Wrestling under Cornet at the time. He was my booker, and I was in in-ring promo with him in the ring. I was about to wrestle Kane. Kane was coming down from WWE to wrestle me to test, see where I'm at in my experience level, right? I only had 6 months of training at this point, keep in mind. Anyways, they were booking me to be the next big thing. And
hell yeah. That's how I saw you, dude. 100%. I was like,
well,
sorry, go ahead.
I wanted to separate myself from that because Brock's a NCAA wrestling world champion, right? I'm a former NCAA basketball and football player, different sports, right?
Right.
So I want to differentiate myself from that. And so both had the flat top, both had the back tattoos, all that kind of shit. I didn't want to be completely like him, not to be disrespectful.
Right. I didn't think you were like a Brock. Let me clarify. I didn't think you were like Brock. I went, oh, this is the guy who's going to beat the shit out of Brock. That's when I was young. I was like, this dude's the guy who's bigger than Brock. Fucking Matt Morgan. Who's this Matt Morgan dude? Holy shit. Like, I remember so fondly like that when you guys were doing your thing on SmackDown and everything. Anyway, sorry, you go ahead. You tell the story.
All right, sorry, brother. So I'm in the in-ring promo, and I got to differentiate myself because Cornet had give me bullet points, and one of the bullet points he hit me with was make sure you get in the phrase that you're not the next big anything, and then freestyle, and then say you're going to use Kane as the next big red stepping stone. I'll never forget that. Not big red machine, big red stepping stone. It's basic, right, for a rookie to cut that promo. And so when I said I'm not the next big anything, I went into it. I just started like freestyling. I go, I'm not the next big anything. I'm the first. I'm the first walking, talking, running, jumping, athletic, breathing, athletic, thinking man's giant this sport's ever had. Hell, if Jesus Christ can make the blueprint of the perfect giant, son, you're looking at him. I am Vince McMahon's wet dream come true. And I just totally healed it up like I was asked to do. And then finished my business with naming the date and time I'll be wrestling Kane.
Damn. And it just stuck.
And then I went backstage and Kenny Bolin goes, you need to call yourself the Blueprint. That was awesome.
Yeah, amazing, dude. That's crazy. You just came out, you just spit it out, and then it works. It does work, dude. And just that promo, everything. God, that's money. And I guess, what was it like working with Jim? I mean, you could probably talk about that all day, but just like,
yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, you loved it. Good. Yeah, because there's a lot of people. There's some people who I'd say a minority of people. He's too tough. He's a hard ass or whatever. But I don't know, man. He bred, I don't know, guys like you, man. There's just a whole class of people that came from that.
I'll tell you this. I get called up to SmackDown. I get put on Team Lesnar, the biggest team in Survivor Series history, which was stupid from day one. Mm-hmm. And Jimmy didn't watch SmackDown or Raw. He just booked OVW, and that's all he was concerned himself with. And when I got pulled up, and I was his number one face at the time, they switched me face before I finished. Anyways, long story short, he goes, why the fuck would they put you up on television and immediately put you in the ring with the one guy in the whole company that's taller than you with Big Show? It makes no sense at all. And he's right.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget this. In the locker room, guys used to make fun of Jimmy in 2002, 2003 and say, oh, wow, Morgan, you must be excited to be up here now and get rid of that 1970s style wrestling that Cornet had you do. And I'd be like, No, dude, I owe my career to this guy. And I'm sitting there looking at other OVW talents that were called up that were like laughing and cackling. I'm like, you ingrate motherfuckers. That guy built your career, gave you your start. You ingrate motherfuckers, you turncoat. And I got
Damn.
heat for it, but I didn't care. I whip all their asses in a fight. So we're like,
let's go.
I was so angry at them though, because I watched Jimmy go to bat for these guys, get them developmental contracts. And quite frankly, they were vanilla could get with some cases. And when like the other stars of WWE would like make fun of that, like Jimmy's mind for wrestling, that it's stuck in the 70s and 80s in the territory days. I remember, like, guys, no matter what you want to say, it's still 101 wrestling, and it would still work to this day. Tell me if I'm wrong. Do you really think I should be in the ring with Big Show right now, or should I be in handicap matches versus two?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, dude. It should have just been
build my name, build my resume. Then you bring me in the ring with these other mainstream stars, and then see what I can do. But just to put me in the right from day one, you negate me being 6'11", 7 feet by putting me in the ring with a guy 7'2" on day one. Oh, by the way, my tag partner Nathan Jones at the time, folks might remember, 6'11", same height as me. What the hell?
Now, oh man, and Nathan Jones. Can I add? Wasn't he in that Brad Pitt movie? He got killed in that Brad Pitt movie. Yo, listen, what was all of that? Was all the rumors about him a shoot? Like where he?
100%.
Okay, all right, yeah.
He's one of the only dudes on that roster I never messed with. Thank God I had him in my car with me.
Yeah.
Because that dude, I used to make the joke, Nathan Jones is killed and will kill again.
Yeah, dude, for sure. Okay, that's good. That's good to know. I just love that dude. And he fought in Pride, I believe, as well. He had a Pride match or something, if I'm not mistaken. At least I think he had a fight in Japan. No, if I'm mistaken, I believe. Yeah. So this is a truckin' banger for $5, Russ says. Yeah, and we have like Ishii currently in the ring, like Claudio's hitting him with elbows, and Ishii was like, I don't know, man. It just looked cheesy, and he was like kind of no selling them. And then like now they're all in a circle elbowing Ishii, and then now he's hulking up and then elbowing everybody in a circle. So I mean, like I thought the show was really great, and it's sort of just gone a little downhill. I'm not gonna lie. And then I don't know. What do you make of it when they sort of just insert these Japanese legends and they start? I'm not trying to knock anyone, okay? Like I'm a huge New Japan fan and stuff like that, but you know, there's some of these guys, they start doing the phony elbows and shit. Like, is it too harsh to say? Do you get offended by that? What's your stance on that?
I'll tell you, when I was wrestling, and this is again, you know, I started in 2002 and finished in 2013. Until 2013, if you're throwing some bullshit pussy flipper, it meant you don't know how to throw a punch. Nobody's taught you or trained you how to throw a punch is what that usually meant. So I don't know how all of a sudden throwing a flipper now means you're a badass and you're cool. It's the safest thing to take. You can see fans, slow motion a flipper or a forearm. Watch where they're hitting the guy. It's in their neck every single time. I'm sorry. You as a wrestling fan can take my elbow to your neck right now and you'll be just fine. So like when I see fans pop for that, I'm like, don't pop for that. Pop for Randy Orton's picture perfect punches to the forehead that are like a centimeter from splitting an egg on someone's forehead with masterful accuracy.
Yeah, man. And Orton, like he shows it, dude. He just came back and he's like in great shape, and he's just it's the selling and the pacing and just everything he does means something, and that's so much more valuable than
crazy, right?
Yeah, it's
making fun of him for the Shamrock of Doom and wrestling boring ass matches, but he's picked it up on his return.
Yeah, no doubt. So you're just flat out going, he's wrestling some boring ass matches. Yeah, I mean,
fan, bro. I'm a fan. I'm a big fan, but I'm a fan.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a time where I was like, oh, not Cena and Orton again. For sure. There was not to be a hater. I love fucking Cena. I'll put him over all day. What do you make of Cena coming back here? And I'm sure you talked about it on Gigantic Pop, which you can plug the shit out of in a minute. But what or just whenever you want. I mean, we can now. Well, why don't you tell us about Gigantic Pop and what's going on there with Raj Giri as well? Shout out Raj Giri. I love him.
That's not why I'm on. I'm on to be a part of your show because I'm a fan of yours, man. So we'll plug it when we get to it.
Okay, sure, man. I really appreciate that.
Ask me a question. Cena coming back. So Cena coming back, I think that's great. I like the way he gets to write his own ending. He deserves to write his own ending. And I see it now, but when I was wrestling in my prime, Cena was the Hulk Hogan of our era at the time, right? So I thought a lot of the stuff he did was corny and cheesy, even though he's a friend. I'm just being honest. As a fan watching it, I thought it was always corny and he had 2 left feet, blah, blah, blah. But this guy, at the end of the day, bridged that gap between a very corny PG era that WWE had to do, between that attitude and the era we see today that's very successful. And I only think a guy like John Cena could have pulled that off.
Yeah.
And I give him credit for that. I do.
Yeah.
Because John was a great promo, especially in OVW. He could curse and do whatever he wanted to do. He was great.
Yeah, so I mean, like, you sort of saw that, how he like evolved. Did you ever anticipate that when you saw him like early on?
Let me put it to you this way: when he brought up his freaking John Cena and his gate, his like orange, what was they, green and tight, whatever tights they were.
Yeah.
And with Kurt Angle, and he's saying ruthless aggression. Like, this is what you're doing with our prototype, because that's what we called him, the prototype in OVW. This dude could cut a promo on anything. Like, we used to cut promos on promo class where they'd say, okay, you got to cut this promo, and they try to throw you off in the middle of your promo. Example, John Cena would be the interviewer and go, all right, so Matt Morgan, tonight you've got a really big match tonight versus, and he'd say, like, let's say Manute Bol, some random basketball player out of left field. And I'd have to cut the promo on Manute Bol, and we'd all do it. Nobody was better at John at thinking on the fly. We can never throw him off. We can give him the craziest opponent you could possibly think of. And his promos were they were so strong, so good. And I remember they pulled him at the TV. I'm like, why is he not the prototype? Why is he not doing what he did in OVW? This is stupid. And then he eventually did the Dr. Thugonomics, which I had no clue was coming, because I used to ride in this dude's Jeep, listen to Quiet Riot, Metallica, Twisted Sister, going to eat after wrestling practice. I never knew he listened to rap. I swear to God on that. And it goes to what I've always said about him. He's an amazing actor, and I think he's fooled the world that he believe it. That's how good he is.
No, I love it. This is awesome. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was blown away. Like, when he started rapping, like, where did this shit come from? Oh, I go, no, you don't, dude. Do you not remember? Just like 8 months ago, I was in your stupid Jeep Cherokee going to eat, and we were singing like Twisted Sister. Like, what are you doing? And he's like, dude, now you can see that side of me. That's all. And I'm like, that's not true. He's such a good actor that
you believe that. That's amazing. I've never heard that perspective on it. That's awesome.
Bro, I think you can throw anything at John Cena and he can make it look as legitimate as possible, and it looks natural because he's such a great actor.
Yeah.
I've always thought that. When I saw Rocket Hollywood, I'm like, this dude, I remember thinking John would be a bigger. I know it sounds crazy now in retrospect.
Yeah. And like, I'm not like a hater either, but on the music side of it, so like, the listeners know, like, I have a Grammy award-winning songwriter. I understand that aspect of the biz a little bit. He, like, on the show quite frequently, my friend Marty, he won 2 Grammys last year, whatever. He's a songwriter, right? So I'm in the know on this. Okay. And it's also just public credited. You can look it up, but yeah, like, people were writing Cena's rhymes. Like a guy like named Esoteric or something wrote like Cena's rhymes on some of the so not to be a hater at all or anything, but it's like on, because like all musicians, all the big talents, maybe not Taylor Swift, but every big artist you see, people writing their shit. But yeah, so even like name them, Eminem, there's people writing his shit, everybody. So I don't like knock him for that, but yeah, if you're saying, yo, he just fooled the world with this gimmick, he was able to act because he's a tremendous actor, obviously. You know what I mean? Look at Hollywood.
I really do believe that, brother. I swear, because again, we're singing "We're Not Gonna Take It" and "Enter Sandman" and oh my God, Rat, Round and Round. Those are like our favorite music back then. And all of a sudden, he's rapping 6 months later.
Yeah, dude.
Again,
and so
he had on backwards. It's a Jeep thing you wouldn't understand on the front of his windshield. That's not a dude that's rapping. Come on.
Oh man, that's good shit. That's good shit, pal. Yeah. Okay. Well, how many times let me ask, can I just fucking ask, what's Vince like? Can you just give me something for that? That's because that's the question everyone wants to know. Obviously, you weren't hanging out with him, and I'm not asking about any like controversy or anything like that. I'm just asking, like, backstage, what was he like? Were you intimidated talking to him? Was it like, oh, pal? Yeah. Was it the way, we sort of imitated and other people joke about? Was it like that? How was he? Was he a good dude?
It was the way you say it like that, because he's always uncomfortable, he's awkward, and he's a big dude, right? So when guys are bigger than him athletically or like physically, muscle bound wise, it's always what you've heard. He's a mark for everybody that's bigger than him, right? But he's always socially a little bit awkward and always tries to intimidate you at first by dissing you or walking by you in the hall out saying hi, that kind of thing. So from day one, I throw myself right in front of his face, because I met him before I even got on Tough Enough. He's the reason, I hate to even say this because he turned into such a POS, but he's the one responsible for me getting on Tough Enough, believe it or not, because I'm from Fairfield, Connecticut, 2 towns from the old Titan Towers headquarters, Stamford, Connecticut, where WWE headquarters was. And my friend wrote for the Raw magazine, and he'd get me in that gym every Friday night for about a year, before hoping to bump into Vince or somebody that's a decision maker, of saying, hey, look, this guy's never been trained. He wants to be trained. He doesn't know where to go. What do we do with him? He's 7 feet tall. At the time, I was 382 pounds. That was huge. I had to try out with the Rams. Again, 382 is the biggest I've ever been. I was all fat, to be honest. Okay. But anyways,
nothing wrong with that.
I finally bump into him in the gym. He marks out my size. He's like, hey, son, you ever think about wrestling? I'm like, I wanted, like, no shit. I've been stalking you for a year, but yes. and he's like, well, we're doing a reality show called Tough Enough. Here's the contact number. Send an audition tape of why you think they should pick you. And so I sent it in to Kevin Kelly, who's supposed to turn it in time for Tough Enough 1 with Maven and Chris and those guys. And long story short, I don't know what Kevin did wrong, but he turned it in time. 2 months, whenever Tough Enough season 1 was done, I get a call from MTV saying, hey, we just got your audition tape for MTV Tough Enough season 2. We're picking you to be on this show, etc. Come on out to Las Vegas and try out. And my moral of the story is, Vince, I thought, was very, very cool. And once I started working there, everybody has an open door policy with him. The problem was everybody's always intimidated of him to utilize it. And so, like, when I look back and I read autobiographies, I always hear about Shawn Michaels going in there and yelling at him and things like that. I'm like, yeah, he's Shawn Michaels. He's Mr. WrestleMania. He's a main eventer. But at the end of the day, he's 5 foot nothing, 100 and nothing. Vince is a body guy. So every body guy that's ever been in the company, you don't utilize that dude's door and go in his office and talk to him and stay in front of him is a mistake. And so I would utilize that. I'd overutilize that, to the fact when he brought me back and wanted me to stutter and I told him, when he pitched that stupid stuttering character to me, I said, look, if I do that, I'm not going back down to OVW. I'm doing it next week, and we're going to run with it. But I'm not going to back down to Louisville again. And then you bring me up 6 months later doing this dumb character. I'll work at it best I can, but we're doing it on the road. And he was like, okay, I like the confidence. And then brought me on the road immediately. And then when I got released, even, his whole thing was, we need to get you off television. People forget about your stuttering character, and we'll bring you back in 6 months when enough time's gone by. And I remember telling him, like, sir, that's not enough time. They're gonna remember I'm the guy that was stuttering. Like, that's gonna be hard to erase. He goes, I tell them what to think.
Yeah, I tell them what to think, pal. Yeah. And they're gonna love HLA. It's gonna get over, trust me.
Bro,
Sorry, go ahead.
Bro, that. No exaggeration or hyperbole. And I'm like, okay. And so I went to New Japan, and then I got very angry that, like, hold up, why these guys put this character on me to begin with? That made no sense. I have a communications degree, public speaking, like, promos were my strength. I got everything out. Top of the fridge. I'm on an interview. Sorry.
Don't be.
But so I got very angry about that. After a while, I got very salty. I'm like, I'm going to shove it up his ass. And I'm like, if he's not going to be the blueprint character there, I'll go to TNA and do it there. And that's how I ended up going to TNA. And Cornet was played a huge role in helping me get hired there and then on television.
So what was like the well, okay, we'll sidetrack for a second. Mercedes Monae, she was in the ring. She was doing her 2 title celebration. Britt Baker interrupts her. She gets a decent pop in Calgary, I guess. And they sort of did the double turn. It's not a double turn, but I try and put it over that way. But either way, Mercedes is the heel, and I try to make sense of this stuff as best I can. And yeah, go. You're just thoughts on Mercedes and Britt, and yeah.
Okay, I do like this. I'm sorry. And at first, I hated Monae coming in because I still do, because let's be clear, guys. Everyone wants to try to rationalize this. Don't rationalize it. It's easy to see. Tony effed up and tried to book her as a babyface, and she does not know how to be a babyface. She's cocky. She's arrogant. She's over the top. She brags about making money. Who's going to cheer that on? Nobody. And then does this lame ass dance with it to boot. So, like, every time she has nothing to say, she does this weird dance. I don't know how to explain it. I just know when Britt Baker came back, I was excited because I'm like, Britt's going to put her in her place. She's going to smoke her on the mic. I cannot wait. I'm here for it. And I'm here for it right now.
No doubt. Well, let's delve into my favorite place called Phil Mark's Bookmarks. How about that? I want you to react to some, or actually, no. First, I got a question, just because I got you here, so I might as well. So, what was like TNA then? The difference on as far as like you go to TNA, and what's the difference like creatively there? You don't have a Vince going, oh yeah, I tell them what they. So, just your time there, like how was that different? And just I guess were you more in charge of like your creative direction and those sorts of things?
Not with who I'd wrestle, obviously, right? That's always up to the writers. But what I would say, definitely from day one, I pitched in my Blueprint character, and they brought me on screen as Jim Cornette's on-screen bodyguard at first, which was a godsend because at that time I had just defeated my opioid addiction, and I had been about maybe 6 months sober. So that I got about a year's worth of TV every single week as Jim Cornette's bodyguard on screen, right? Where Jimmy would, storyline wise, leave the show, and I would take over as the booker and just book everything into an absolute shit show on purpose and do terrible things. And Jim would come back and yell at me. It was great. It was funny TV, but I'm suit and tie the whole time. So one of the things I learned real quick was I can't rely on my physique anymore. I can't rely on my size anymore. I got to rely on my verbal skills and be able to cut promos. All right. That was huge because I had a whole year worth of doing that before finally suit came off. I'm now an active wrestler. I got a chance to headline 7 pay-per-views for that company before I was done. And more importantly, like you asked, the creative freedom was a huge godsend, because if you have that creative freedom, you're not going to grow as a performer. And that's why we saw like a lot of stunted growth in WWE in those 2010 years, because those guys and gals could not cut their own promos. They were overly scripted, and it hurt a lot of talents. You have to be able to spread your wings. You have to get fuck ups out of your system in order to find out who you are eventually. You got to try new things and to see what works for you. Roman Reigns is a great example of that, right? We finally found himself. Look how many attempts it took him to finally find, the tribal chief, which is one of the greatest characters of all time, in my opinion.
Me too. Yeah. I think also that's why AEW is important. If we're going to put AEW over it, like there's a reason why probably Billy Gunn told his sons, like, yeah, work here. You're going to work your kinks out. You're going to learn how to work on TV. You're going to fuck up. You're going to make mistakes, but you're going to do it here. And you're going to make a good amount of money, probably more than you'll make elsewhere. And then the world is your oyster. You go over there when you're ready, type thing. Yeah. So let me ask you then. You're in your here. I'm gonna fucking hit Matt Morgan with an X-Files, dude. Who'd ever thunk? Here we go.
I wanted the Meltzer flute, damn it, but okay.
You want a Meltzer flute? We'll get one. We'll get one here. We'll do one right away, very soon. I promise you. I won't milk it for too much because I know you like getting on Meltzer. So we're gonna do it, and I'm excited. But I just want to ask you one thing. If you were in your prime Matt Morgan, Blueprint character in tow or not, you got AEW, you got WWE on the table, and maybe WWE's like, yeah, we'll bring you into NXT or maybe main roster. It's a little uncertain, but here's the amount you're getting, and the fucking you got HBK and Triple H in your corner, or you got Tony Khan, way more money, way less dates. You're in your prime. What are you taking as a guy who's been there and done that?
Yikes.
It's tough.
Ooh, let me tell you. Okay, you said I'm on my prime. That's what's pivotal here. So I've had my growing pains. I've figured out who I am as a talent at this point. I figured out what works for me. I got to take that gamble on me at that point. Then I got to take the gamble and go to NXT first, and go the Samoa Joe route.
Let's go.
And then light it up there the best I can, and bet on myself at that point. Yeah, because there's more money at the end of the day in WWE.
Yeah, like that's what people. Or sorry, you go ahead. You go ahead.
At the end of the day, meaning at the end of that picture, there's much more money in WWE to be earned than, that $1 million contract, let's say, with AEW, sitting on the sidelines with my thumb up my ass.
And that's what the sickos. That's what Tony Khan. Oh, the sickos. Yeah, they're great. That's what he calls them, right? So hey, don't get mad at me. It's the sickos. This is awesome. So, okay.
Sorry.
I mean, according to them, I don't know. It's a different. They would be like, "Oh, you're just being wasted in NXT," and blah 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 blah, that sort of thing. And that's what's crazy about the online discourse and all of that. And it's like it needs to be reiterated by someone like you. Like, in the long run of WWE, you're going to make more money, but you're going to have to grind harder up front. But like in the long run, it's going to pay off. Whereas in AEW, yeah, it's going to pay off up front, but then in the long run, what is there? And let's say you get a real injury. A lot of guys where's Jamie Hayter? I don't know if you're familiar, but where the fuck is she? She was awesome. It's just like, come on, man. She's gone hurt really bad. Adam Cole, like, career done, it seems like, right? Am I wrong? So, and I love Adam Cole. I'm a huge fan. So it's just it's unfortunate, and but I understand why people jump at the big amount of money for like maybe 3 years or so. Like, I get why Edge would go, and he earned every right? Like a veteran, they earn every right. I'll never criticize that shit. But so, there's pros and there's cons, I guess, to everything in life. But it's just cool to hear that come from you, where it's like you guys got to understand, WWE, the long run is what pays off.
So Phil, and at the end of the day, every wrestler's dream when they first start, they can lie, they can exaggerate. Like, oh, I've always wanted to work for All Japan. No, you didn't. I always wanted to work for New Japan. No, you didn't. No, but I tape traded my whole life and Okay, at the end of the day, no, you didn't. That's one of your stops along the way to get to the main time, which is WWE, and especially WrestleMania. So, for instance, in London, right? Was it All Out or All In? What are they calling it?
All In.
Okay, so All In, that's the biggest show of the year. Every single talent except for an Edge, Christian, person that's now past their prime, so to speak, no disrespect. Okay, Jericho, people like that. Other than them, all the other towns are like, oh yeah, I'm here, and this is our Super Bowl of wrestling, and Every one of them would trade places tomorrow to be on WrestleMania in a New York minute.
Yep, I said it ad nauseum, man. Oh, I love when the people go, "Oh, I don't care about ever going to WWE." Yeah, you want to go to you want to be on Mania, you want to main event that shit.
Of course you do. That's something I wish I always could have done. I never got to do it, and I'd still kill to have that. Go back in time if I could, but I can't. And that's the holy grail of a pro wrestler's career, being able to say that you're able to perform at WrestleMania.
No doubt. We got a question here from Greg Campbell for $5. Conan, we'll give him a Conan. Matt, how did TNA's inconsistent booking, like with your start-stop storylines and not capitalizing on talents like the Young Bucks, affect its growth? Now, a lot of people might go, "Oh, the Young Bucks," but no, dude, they were hot for a while. It was
they were.
Shit, pal. Yeah, you go ahead though.
He's 100% right. That's a great call, actually. So he's right. So, like, I'll tell you when it happened. It happened when Hogan and Eric Bischoff came in. A lot of people give Vince Russo a lot of heat. Vince would get me to just to the precipice of the promised land. Meaning, I had this angle versus the Main Event Mafia. Folks may or may not remember Main Event Mafia. Kurt Angle, Sting, Booker T, Kevin Nash, Scott Steiner, all former world heavyweight champions in the same clique. And my storyline for the whole calendar year, laid out in advance, was I had to go through every single one of them individually on various pay-per-views until I met Kurt Angle at our WrestleMania called Bound for Glory. And if I beat Kurt Angle, all right, I'm now in the main event Mafia, and now I, go for the world title. Vince gets me all the way there. I beat everybody main event Mafia, and then he has me lose to Kurt Angle on the finish of the storyline. And Kurt all day is going, Vince, this makes no sense. Why would we not have Matt win?
Yeah.
Bro, you're wrestling AJ Styles next month for the world title, bro.
Oh, bro, that's not wrestling, bro.
And so Kurt goes, okay, I get that, but this is our Super Bowl. This is our WrestleMania, right? Yeah. Okay, so this is supposed to be our conclusion for our calendar year. It makes no sense to get him there. He beat everybody in this group, in this main event Mafia group. They all did the jobs to him with the goal that it was going to come to me, and I do the favors. No, you're both going to get over, bro. You're both going to get over. Morgan's still going to get over with him losing. Trust me, bro. And you need to be strong because you're wrestling AJ for the title next month. He goes, again, next month is a throwaway pay-per-view, Vince. It's not our Super Bowl of wrestling.
Yeah.
And he fought his heart out for me. I'll always love Kurt for that. But that's the shit I'm talking about that would happen. But still, with that said, Hogan and Bischoff then came in after that. And that's what this viewer is talking about, the start and stop shit. They put me in a tag team with Joey Ryan out of left field that made no sense at all. And then Hogan would walk into TV, go into the creative meeting, even though he's not part of creative, keep that in mind, and go, why is the biggest guy on our roster in a random throwaway tag team match? This makes no sense. And then I mysteriously be booked to wrestle for the world championship and a build going to the next pay-per-view versus a Jeff Hardy somehow. So that's what he means by the start and stop booking, because once Eric and Hogan came in, we had a lot of marks in that company that would just bend over and just do whatever the hell they told them to do. And sometimes it helped me. I know a lot of people don't like Hulk Hogan, but Hulk Hogan was a big advocate for me. Thank God, somebody there.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
dude. No, the Hulk rules over here, brother. I'll always say it, Like,
he was, but the rest of them were all like, starting to transition into that. Oh my God, you see those great spots by Austin Aries and and that's where the business started transitioning. And Austin's a good friend of mine. He's a hard worker, but Austin will be the first one to tell you, like, he would never take me off my feet in a match. He would work his ass off.
Yeah.
Eventually chop me down and tell the story psychology wise of getting me off my feet. Whereas today, dude, they're taking these Brian Cage guys and Lance Hoyt, guys like that off their feet immediately, and the big guys are not working the way they look.
Yes, I will not argue that for 1 second. I think it's almost like a lost art, dude, in this era. Like, what's going on with Satnam Singh? No one's like pulled him aside and got it. They're not hating on him at all, man. It's the environment he's in, but goddamn, he's got to get it together.
Respect to that poor guy. I don't think he'll walk and chew gum at the same time. So I think because of that, that's an issue. He's like Khali. He's having to face that same uncoordination issue, right? Yeah. I was a guy with a freaking 42-inch vertical leap that could windmill 360 slam dunk a basketball. I fall off the top rope. I could do a shooting star. I'd never be able to do it. Cornet threatened to fire me the first time he saw me do a shooting star press on a crash pad at an OVW arena in practice. He goes, God damn it! If I ever see you do that again, son, you're gonna be fired. Nobody's paying you to be a 7'1" Rey Mysterio Jr. God damn it! And like, the building slammed the door. And I was terrified. I'm like, oh great.
My God.
Pissed off this guy I like idolized as a kid. This sucks.
Man, I have weird, obscure questions though. Like, can I ask you what feels better to hit, the ropes or the wires? You know what I mean? What's
Ooh, that's a great question, actually.
Yeah.
Okay, if I was a high flyer, I'd say the wires because they're more stable. But for me as a big guy, the ropes, because I can really lean into them and make them move. Lighter cruiserweights, like if you ever watch them hit the ropes, it's almost like when girls hit the ropes, right? Like they hardly move them an inch.
Yeah,
it looks phony as hell. That's why I'll always like ropes better.
No doubt. I like the aesthetic of the ropes better as well than the cable, but like WWE has their thumbprint on like you can't do that without being considered, oh, you're just doing WWE or whatever, which is I don't know, that's a Vince thing, right? But here's an obscure question as well. I don't even know if you can answer it. We're seeing a lot of talent crossing over, like, the Rascals show up on NXT or Hendry works a match on NXT.
Yeah.
So you don't even have to answer this. So stupid. But like, how do you get paid in that situation? Like, who's giving you a check? Is NXT there's a WWE check coming in the mail for that spot, or is that TNA works that out where it's like, no, you go work this date and that's on your contract? Or could you shed any light on that?
All right, so I'm going to plug my show real quick. Gigantic Pop with
Yes.
Gary and Glenn Rubenstein. I just interviewed the Juggernaut the other day.
Love Jordan. Yeah.
Me too, man. She's a stud. And I should have asked her that question. And God dang it, I should have asked her that. And I should have said, like, how do you guys get paid for this? Because you just got the biggest pop of the night out of any NXT star.
Yeah.
They pay you accordingly, or is it part of your guarantee with TNA? I wonder. Because
I'm so curious.
I don't know that answer, and I'm gonna bet you. I hate to say it, I'm gonna be willing to bet it's not WWE paying them. They just have a sort of deal with TNA, and TNA pays them out as what their booking fee pays them per appearance. Is what I'm gonna guess. I don't know that. I don't have any facts to back it up. I'm just gonna guess it. And what a steal for NXT to get someone like Joe Hendry on there with the whole out popping frigging of all people, the former NXT champion with Joe Hendry, and he gets a quarter of the paycheck that he was getting that night.
Yeah, crazy? Man. Damn. I'm so that stuff piques my interest a lot. And so I was talking with Ant Evans earlier today. I interviewed him for a podcast that's coming out like this weekend. And Ant Evans was he was the PR guy for the UFC. You know, he worked with Brock. He worked with lots of guys. He worked right directly alongside Dana White. He like helped them lay out Fight Pass, and then and the Hall of Fame. He helped design the Hall of Fame, like how they induct full on fights. That was his idea, you know, and he's like, the WWEs should do it or will do it one day, which I think is a good idea. You induct matches, and then that way some people who might not ever, you know, that could either way. He helped innovate that, and then he went to work for TNA alongside Scott D'Amore. Oh, wow. And then when Scott D'Amore left, he had a lot to say today. Let me just put it this way about the new regime at Anthem. But a lot of people are like, okay, when they got rid of Scott D'Amore there from TNA, it sort of killed that flame that they had stoked up so high, you know. And then now it's sort of back with like the Rascals showing up on NXT, Joe Hendry, Jordan Grace, etc.
But can we say that's not necessarily Anthem? That's Shawn Michaels, Hunter, WWE, NXT being smart enough to bring some of these stars over to their show, which helps resurrect TNA. Because Scott is the one, after Dixie and the Jeff Jarrett years, is the one that put his blood, sweat, tears in that company, that was on no-name channels and kept that company going. And I was very proud to work for that company. I'm very proud to see what they're doing now.
Yeah, man, I love TNA. I've always been a supporter. And my whole thing is like Ant was saying, and he's not being cynical about it. He's just like, listen, I think they're going to get absorbed or something in the next like 18 months. There's no way there'll even be a TNA wrestling in like the next 1 to 2 years is what he's saying. Now, I was like, I sort of pushed back on that. I was like, but they're integrating them and all this stuff. Now you sort of agree with that. So tell me about that. Like, why do you think that's what's going to happen other than just the tape library, obviously?
Well, even that, I can see the WWE purists been like, oh, nobody cares about the WWE. Like, Joe's not there anymore. AJ's about to retire soon. And So what good is that TNA library? Well, I don't know. Kurt Angle, Kevin Nash, Sting, Booker T, Scott Steiner, Bobby Lashley. There's millions of people.
Yeah.
Anyways, more importantly, forget the library. I think if they're smart, WWE would absorb TNA and use it as like step one before NXT as a developmental.
Brilliant.
I really was
talking to Matt Morgan. Yes, I am. If you're just joining, this is the Blueprint himself here on the show. And come mark out with me. Sorry, go ahead, Matt.
No, I think it'd be a good move for WWE. And yeah, I'm saying that as a TNA homer. I know that. But still, the excitement it gives NXT shows, you can't deny it. Like when Jordan Grace came out, that crowd lost their shit.
Oh yeah.
And
she looks great. And how about this? I put it over a bunch on the show. I've said it a bunch. I'm sure the listeners are tired of me hearing me say it, but she came out in the Royal Rumble, didn't get one elimination. I watched the shit back, but she had like the standout performance without even getting an elimination. She looked so good. And yeah.
She didn't get one elimination, really?
I don't think she did. I watched it back. Like I maybe I gotta fact check me on that. I'm 99.99% sure she didn't get one elimination. And look how good she looked
How much
in that match. She stood out like beyond some of the WWE talent that they've had.
Easily more than that.
Yeah. You ain't hype for $5 says the wrestling landscape is changing. It's shifting from the larger than life performers to the average sized performers. Matt, what do you think?
Great question. So again, I'm gonna be like, oh, you're an old head, blah blah blah. Listen to me before you call me an old head. Again, I just got done telling you guys I could do a shooting star, so 42-inch vertical leap, bench press 655. I'm telling you guys, like this, I was not allowed to do any of this shit athletically, and I was always yelled at to wrestle the way I look because that's what they're paying me to do because somebody else couldn't be that size, right? So it used to kill me. So when I watch today's wrestling and I see what the big guys are able to do athletically, I'm like, God dang it. I came up in the wrong time. But at the same time, I still subscribe to the theory of when somebody's walking down the aisle to the ring, I need to know, has this guy been in a fight in real life or not? I just have to have that feeling that this person has been at least in a scuffle, a pull apart even, something that lets me know this person's tough. It could be a girl, guy, I don't care. And what's happening is now we have all these prepubescent looking talents. I'm not saying it to be funny, but maybe it has passed me by because guess what? It's the most successful the wrestling business has ever been for WWE. So maybe it did pass me by.
Well, I don't know, man. I love how you just like keep it real as fuck, you know? Pardon my French. I just like it. I like that you keep it real, man. Jimmy B for $5 says, Matt, I've struggled with ADHD my whole life. You're my fucking hero, dude. Awesome to hear you on the podcast.
Yay. Thanks for saying that, man.
Yes, round of applause. Yeah, and you do so much great stuff, man. We gotta like chop it up on like a pre-recorded one too, where we can just like well, when Dynamite's not on and we can talk. Tony Storm's laying here bleeding, literally. Mariah May broke her open and turned on her to end the show. So I mean it's it is what it is. Guys, I need to do a Dave Meltzer dumb moment of the week with Matt Morgan before I get him out of here. I have to do it. So guys, I appreciate so much the super chat and Matt Morgan's my hero too, especially at this moment in time, bro. Plus your theme song fucking rips for $2. There you go. Are you a fan? How much input do you have on like your themes, or were they just all pitched to you and you're like, hell yeah, dude? She just hit Aubrey Edwards. I'm so sorry. Mariah May just hit Aubrey. Instant bonus points with me. Sorry, go ahead.
No, put it over. Say what's happening.
She bloodied up. The show ends. Mariah May turns on Tony, bloodies her up. She's drinking her blood off her face. And then Aubrey Edwards is like, break it up. And then she just gloms her with the fucking belt.
Okay,
and she won the Owen Hart.
I'm out. Did she really drink the blood?
She literally put her lips on it, kissed, was making out with her wound, licking her forehead. Yep.
Oh, God.
And she's really got color. Like that's a blade. Like Tony did a real, like she's bleeding. Yeah, it's not fucking
John Moxley book it.
Oh my God. Oh my goodness, man. Okay, so that's the end of Dynamite, guys. I don't know. What do you guys rate it out of 10? Well, it wasn't in Tokyo, so it's Wrestle Dream. I don't know, man. It was in Calgary. I'm Canadian, so I'll give it a 6. I don't know. But yeah, your theme song, man. Like, how much input do you have on that shit?
You do. Again, another good part of being TNA, you did have that kind of creative freedom. And I had a band that did the Sleeping Giant song, contacted me and said, hey, it might not mean nothing, but like, we watch you, we like what you do. We wrote this song, Sleeping Giant. We thought it'd be perfect for your entrance. Would you use it? And I said, I'll pitch it. I can't guarantee anything, obviously. I don't think I got that kind of pull. And I played it for Dixie Carter, and it was Dixie Carter's husband of all people. I was like, oh yeah, we're using this. And that's how it became my theme song, yeah.
Was Dixie sorry, and we're gonna get to Meltzer. I'm so sorry, dude, but I just gotta ask you: was Dixie like the way everyone sort of says? Like I asked you about Vince. Was he the way that? Oh yeah, pal. Was Dixie the way that everybody sort of puts on like? I don't want us to be like Money Mark and be rude about shit. I didn't be disrespectful. I'm just, but like the way that people paint the picture to be, is that quite accurate in your opinion, or?
No.
Okay.
And people are gonna say, well, because you're one of her favorite wrestlers, Matt. Okay, so I want to quell a shitty rumor that a lot of other very, very famous wrestlers have tried to gas up when they get asked this question because they think it's funny. It's going to create headlines.
Yeah.
We say like, oh, Dixie was sexually attracted to certain wrestlers and da 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 da. Dixie Carter, let me tell you something. I was her favorite, first or second. Me and Hernandez both, I'd argue, were her favorite wrestlers in that company, like personally, and went to bat for us multiple times because we're being underutilized, both of us. And I told her my sobriety story. She's the one who got me out there going to kids' schools and talking about how I overcame my drug addiction when I was with WWE and how I stay clean and using it for good now, talking to kids about staying away from drugs. 2, I also confided in her. She was asking me, when are you and your beautiful wife going to have kids? And I told her the truth. I'm like, me and my wife have been struggling for 12 years to have kids. We went through 8 bouts of IVF. We can't afford anymore. And she goes, hold up. She goes, me and Serge had the same problem. And next week, she flew out this freaking fertility specialist to our TV tapings for my wife and I to go meet with, do a physical with. And I'll be damned if my wife and I didn't become pregnant after 12 years of not being able to have kids. And so for her, she'll always have a special place in my heart. And for everybody else that was like tries to sexualize it because she's a female owner and like, oh, she's a mark for the guys and guys and that's bullshit. Those are lies. Those are exaggerations. Those aren't truths. Now was she somebody who was her family's money that she tried to invest in this business? Yeah. You should thank her for it and say, thanks for giving us a friggin' other place to go. And you, especially some of those veterans that didn't do shit and phoned it in all the time, you're welcome for that free paycheck is what they should say to her. Or thank you to her is what they should say.
Yeah.
And it's annoying and I don't like it because she doesn't do interviews. She doesn't stick up for herself. She doesn't care nowadays. But I wish she did because she gets a shitty story told about her and I don't like it because none of it's true.
Man. That's good perspective on it. And yeah, that's why I try and not to sound like a Conrad Thompson. Oh, come on now, Eric. That's not very fair.
Dude, every time you do that,
that's funny, man. I truly enjoy their show and stuff. But you know, but it is like AEW. That's why to bring it like to now having TNA be hot and then AEW thrive. Like that's all good for everyone, you know what I mean? And so it doesn't mean I can't clown the fucking creative though. You know what I mean? So yeah, so I mean, but I mean, I always applaud when the boys go and get the money from Tony Khan, man. They should. I'm happy that it exists. Sorry, go ahead.
But Phil, by you doing that, okay, and you're like, oh, I'm just this guy. No, you're not. If I found you and I'm listening to you, I think you're funny. I promise you, people that have some sort of control on these shows have found you and find you funny. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
So the point is people like you that hold these companies' feet to the fire for the betterment of our business. So you're making better opportunities. I'm saying it's to kiss your ass. I'm saying it because it's the truth. To make better opportunities for our guys and gals to make sure that AEW stays around.
Yes.
Doing dumbass shit. So it's going to be faded and gone in the next 5 years.
Yeah.
Okay. So do what you do and say the truth like you always do it, man.
Yeah, well, I really appreciate that, dude. Yeah, and that's all I'm trying to do. And like I'll say too, just to what you're saying. Now, maybe this is here. I'll hit an X-Files on myself. Maybe this is conspiratorial, but like I know like there's people who like maybe I do shows with or something. Like Tony Khan's blocked all these people, never blocked me. There's no way he doesn't know. Like people tag me in his shit all this. There's someone that's had to have come. Dave blocked me, you know, he doesn't like my coverage of him and stuff like that. So I'm not saying like, oh, people are listening, but it's like I'm in good faith. I swear, you know, I swear to you guys.
You are. I watch your shows. I know you are.
Yeah. So, but speaking of Dave and all of these guys, it's time for everybody's favorite segment. It's time for Mrs. Cornet's favorite segment. Actually, it's time for Matt Morgan's favorite segment. It's time for everybody's favorite segment in the chat. It's my favorite segment personally. And it is called Dave Meltzer's Dumb Moment of the Week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Feels good. Every time. So Meltzer said what? He's been sending me stuff, man, and I got to bookmark it all here. I think we have a duplicate here, but Dave convincing himself in real time live on air about how much of a star and draw Mystico is in the US has been hilarious. And it's like, it's like he's like a modern whatever, really like a top guy. So I don't know. Here's a clip of Dave just
actually
stumbling about Mystico. Now, I am a fan of Mystico, but the thing is this is just objectively false. And I mean, he's doing this. Obviously, this was July 1st, so we're a bit behind. I was on vacation, but hey, he's doing this to get over the whole like the luchadors coming over, the CMLLs and that coming over, and because also Wrestle Dream apparently this pay-per-view, that's the big it's like all these different promotions. They're promoting it like AEW, ROH, CMLL, Stardom, New Japan, all crossover in one Wrestle Dream sort of thing. So Dave's going to be on this initiative to just be like, no, Mystico's the biggest. He spiked in the key demo or whatever the fuck he's going to say. Here we go. Let me play this. It's a minute long.
Actually, I thought the match was excellent. And, the crowd was... Phoenix looked really good, and crowd was. I think that whatever it is, it feels like Mystico is. He's got a lot of buzz on him right now. I guess because of the last couple of weeks and everything. But he's like a real worldwide superstar now. Just in the
worldwide.
Oh my God! Make it stop, please. Make it stop.
Oh man!
Come on, Dave. Can you be any more obvious? Come on.
This is the same guy who's like, yeah, I went and saw the Roman Reigns movie that he was in, and when he came on screen, no one knew who he was. Like people were supposed to cheer in the theater like he was Tobey Maguire in fucking No Way Home, and you know what I mean, making his triumphant return to Marvel, as Spider-Man. Like, no, dude, it was fucking Roman's like second movie in a bit part or some shit. He's always just saying dumb, but Mystico's a worldwide star. Superstar, but if you say Roman Reigns' name to people, they don't know who it is. That's what he seriously says. Oh my God.
Sense of he could, I don't know that he necessarily drew for this show, but he seemed pretty over.
I don't know. He's a worldwide superstar. I don't know that he necessarily drew for this show, but he seemed over to me. Worldwide superstar.
Okay, so what I like really quick before you continue is that everybody now calls it out. I wish this happened when I was still like starting out in the business, because like I said in the beginning of this tonight, Dave has absolutely been responsible for a litany of different guys' contract offers, whether they get shit canned or not. And this is at the time when WWE would act like there's no such thing as the internet. Okay, but they did listen. When they were the only game in town, they did listen. And so it's disgusting that he would do all these things. And now, finally, he's having his day in court of being crowned by giving 5-star matches to people over Kurt Angle versus Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, etc.
Yeah, dude, you know why too? It's because I grew up on this shit. I've been watching this old fool for too long. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I've got age on him. That's the one thing I've got on Meltzer here. He does got connects with the TV ratings and the ticket sales and all that sort of shit. And yeah, but it's just so funny how he has to just cope with this. He's a worldwide superstar, but for this particular show, he's I don't know how he really drew though. It's just such
which is the most important metric on if somebody is over, by the way, but I'll digress. I guess being a draw is not important.
And just essentially everybody wants to work with the guy now because it's just easy.
Stop. What? This clown. Do you hear this? Everybody wants to work with him. There's a lot of buzz around him right now. See what I mean? So now he's getting Mystico paydays is what he's doing. See what I mean, folks?
Yes.
Complicitly so, of getting these not clowns, I don't know Mystico, I shouldn't say that, but people, bookings, more money, more fanfare, just on his say so. This is ridiculous. Go ahead. Sorry.
And it's like some people might go, well, that's a good thing though. Like he's hooking someone that he likes up, et cetera, et cetera. But ultimately though, the bigger picture is that it's a detriment because Tony Khan is directly influenced by Meltzer. We know this. He calls him on the phone. He fucking talks about it. And so this will influence this product that we all want to be and thought was going to be something bigger and better than it is.
Yes.
And he's influencing that. So it's like it directly. So it's not just like Matt Morgan is sitting here being shitty about it, folks. It's directly affecting like the quality of the show you get from an AEW show.
Oh, and can I make it even simpler?
Yeah.
Guy's paycheck. So now Mystico, he's putting over to the Cows Come Home. Whose spot is he taking on the next AEW show? Or Mexican TV show, etc., because of Dave's say so. That's my point when I say he negatively affects talents, jobs, and putting food on the table for their families.
Yeah, Dave, you hear that, you motherfucker? Andre Adams for $4.99. Dave definitely spits on glizzies before he eats. He plays harder than hard. Oh my God.
Emotional damage.
That is harsh. Andre Adams of the legendary roast. He comes through every time, man. The Young Bucks dodged a bullet this week, but Dave caught one. So,
dude, Andre throwing knockout blows.
Yes, absolutely, dude. And then we got Wrestling Russ. Yeah, but shut up, Tony Bryan. Yeah, worldwide what? Worldwide superstar, dude. That's what he said. And like, no knock on Mystico, but like they tried him, and it didn't. So it is what it is, man. I don't know. Thank you so much for that. And then Everett Todd says half of AEW hasn't wrestled the other half yet. That's the other fucking problem. So can I bring this up too? Like Mercedes Monae comes in and like everyone knows before she shows up in AEW, I'll call them marks. I'm Phil Marks. They all are online going, fucking Mercedes versus Hayter, Mercedes versus Saraya, Mercedes versus Sheeta, Mercedes versus Baker, Mercedes versus like all these AEW people. Yeah. And even though a lot of them still did come from WWE, but they were in AEW for a while. Yeah. And then she comes in and she's fucking wins 2 titles and then wrestles Vaquer and has like a rematch from her New Japan storyline or whatever. And that's the biggest problem too, is that even though you can go, oh, it's dream matches in AEW, at the same time, a lot of these guys haven't really like wrestled or done programs that we've wanted to see wrestle properly and have fucking proper programs with either. And it's just like, it's so underwhelming all the time. I feel like, yeah, we got moments like Omega Danielson, but it would have been so much sweeter if they just like spent all that more time building towards it. It would have meant more and everything. And that's the half of AEW, like you have trios who are just being thrown together instead of like establishing a trios division. And it feels like people like don't even wrestle who should be wrestling. And I think that's some of the creative freedom, but I think it's more than that in AEW. It's not creative freedom. It's like people will just turn shit down. That's how I feel in AEW. Whereas maybe in TNA, people were working towards the greater good. Maybe in AEW, people were at the beginning, but now it's a little, people see the writing on the wall for what it is. I don't know. I'm not trying to speculate, but there's a lot of matches being left on the table and stories to be told that aren't being told.
Phil, I'll speculate. It's completely night and day different from what that was supposed to be. AEW is TNA with, Matthew Peterson with $1.99 said AEW is TNA with a better TV deal. Okay, yes, but here's the difference. AEW, when it first started, and what Phil was just saying and counting on right now, was that when AEW first started, we all were banned behind it. Like, oh, yes, this is anti-WWE, this is anti-Vince, fuck you, Vince, you're behind the times, this is where wrestling's going, this is great, I love it, we all loved it. And then they took advantage of our good faith in trusting them, and now it's not like that. The talents are not banding together for thinking they're doing something revolutionary. It's not what they're doing. Now they're banding together to see who can get the biggest paycheck, who can rip Tony off the most. God bless them for doing it. God bless them for doing it. Yeah. But at the same time, whereas TNA are making 1/100th of those kind of paychecks, and they're doing it and trying to lift that company up the best they can on a no-name network and doing the best they could. I will argue, I'm not saying as a homer, but if you watch TNA, their storylines are better, put out, written out in advance than the AEW storylines are. AEW books for 5-star matches, and that's all they book their shows for. Random guy versus one of their main guys. Some rando from some foreign country nobody gives a flying fuck about versus our hometown AEW person. As we saw with Forbidden Door in that Moxley match that nobody gave a shit about. And by the way, there was a New Japan heavyweight title switch in that match. Guess what? Nobody still gave a shit.
I know, it's so sad, and I love Naito too. We got a
Right?
$10 super chat, Derek Hance. There's much more to Dave and AEW than him just being a cuck. Wow, tough talk. Dave is invested on a higher level with Tony. That or they're scissoring big closed doors. It's one of the two. My
Tremendous.
word.
Go, Derek. Go, Derek.
Damn, I don't know. You what? I don't know if but yeah, man, Tony Khan, he loves his guys, and maybe they are scissoring. I don't know. Is Meltzer a cuck? I heard some story about like some shoved banana in a face or something like that, and I didn't know what that was referring to, even though I followed Meltzer for so long. And I gotta look into that. So I don't know if there's any cuckery afoot. But thank you, Derek Hans, for the super chat. I appreciate that. And I don't know, man. I think Tony's got like a really beautiful girlfriend as well. But
I will say this, because the second point is probably accurate. Dave is invested on a higher level with Tony. Yeah. I agree with that. I think most people are. And he does himself no services by passing all these matches with 4 3/4 stars. Where, again, I will argue Kurt Angle had to fight claw and scratch. I don't even think to get 4 3/4. I think 4.5 was the best. Kurt Angle, who can wrestle circles around all of these cats.
Yeah.
Come on.
It's insane, man. It's absolutely insane. Thanks for the super chat. Okay, so Dave finishes up on Mystico here, and then Meltzer said what? He's pieced some more little pieces of this puzzle together that are for surely going to make us pop here.
It's like he's like a modern whatever, like a really, like a legit top guy.
He's a modern, legit top guy, Mystico.
Wait, hang on.
So the main show.
Yeah.
Why couldn't find the words to who the modern day blank he was supposed to be? What was that about?
Yeah, what are you gonna say? Roman Reigns?
Exactly.
Like, I don't get it. And so here's some DMs. I don't know. We're diving into some spicy territory. I still can't get over Dave convincing himself Mystico was a draw. Oh yeah, and they have made tickets $5 too. But anyways, we'll wait till they get to so the tickets were $5. Oh my god, because he's in the Observer Hall of Fame. That's why. So Dave just completely stooging, I put him in the Hall of Fame. So yeah, he's a big top guy draw. So Dave Meltzer talks about the WrestleMania 40 documentary that I didn't get a chance. I'm reviewing it I'm going to watch it on my Patreon. Okay, so I'm going to watch it on my Patreon where I won't get DMCA striked for showing everything. You know what I mean? In a little box on the side or whatever. WWE's strict about all that. But Dave Meltzer feels that the long-awaited WWE WrestleMania 40 documentary didn't reveal anything new. Dave said there was no new information. It was very much like a very carefully put together WWE documentary in a sense that everybody's happy, everybody's smart, nobody ever made any mistakes. We all knew what was going to happen, but we didn't know for sure. And when it did happen, and when it happened, we pivoted and all was good. There were so many different things that were going on behind the scenes, and essentially they told none of them. I didn't expect anything different, but I did expect a little bit more, maybe explanation on why Cody won the Rumble. Because if you're going to go with Dwayne and Roman Reigns, Cody winning the Rumble was inherently going to make people want to see Cody and Roman, since you built it up for a year. Anyway, everything turned out fine, but as a documentary, there was nothing new, and even stuff that was known they didn't even come close to touching on. But all the dirt sheets were just spilling all the fucking beans the whole time anyways, Dave. So let them tell their story. That's my opinion, but he's not entirely wrong on this.
Yeah, because I did see it. It was a letdown from what we were gassed up to believe we were going to see with this. And I hate saying this and admitting this, but it's the truth. I watched it twice to see this is what we waited 3 months for. So here's what came across to me. I don't want to give you any spoilers, but when you watch it, I would be shocked once you're done watching it, not coming away with a conclusion. You draw your own, but I'm going to predict, knowing you the way I think I know you from listening to your show, that you're coming away thinking that Brian Gewirtz and Dwayne spent overtime really touching every single edit button they could with this to make it tell a certain story, because the story and the narrative they try to paint is that Rock saved fucking WrestleMania, bro. It's
Let's go.
they take away from the fans that change the narrative in the main event of WrestleMania. They touch on it for like 2 seconds, showing like this one clip of all the different websites, not websites, but different podcasts, bitching and moaning, being Cody Crybabies, Cody Crybabies like myself, going bananas, going, what the fuck, Rock? Nobody wants to see you anymore. They give like 2 seconds worth of footage of that, where Dwayne, the next like 10 minutes, going into like dissertation of, I felt the fans, they wanted to see something else. And you know what? We got to give the fans what they want. Shut the fuck up. You went in, bro. You tried to hijack WrestleMania. The fans turned you down. They wanted Cody. Fucking say it.
No, but they just got to, they got to WWE it up a bit. And
they did. I was disappointed. And I hate saying it because Dave is never right. But, you know, a broken clock's twice, you know.
Right, twice a day. Yeah, absolutely, man. And you know what? I kind of anticipated that going into it, but it sucks that they didn't get more behind. Like, no, this is the next like WrestleMania, YesL or whatever. If they were fucking smart or whatever.
When I expected. I know I'm crazy for thinking this. I was hoping to see raw footage of Rock coming back after the fans started booing. Die Rocky, die! Fuck you! We want Cody. I wanted to see like live footage of Rock with tears. I wanted to see it. I wanted to see it. I'm sorry.
Oh man, yeah, you're right about that. I'd pay good money to see that, sir. Dynamite Dave still just assumed the WrestleMania XL Behind the Curtain documentary was 2 hours long. After watching 40 minutes of it and then deciding he had better things to do at this time, there was no piece of WWE information you can trust from him anymore. And we've covered it ad nauseum, man. Dave fucking skims through WWE. Now, I'm not saying you got to watch every nook and cranny of a show. I get it. You might fast forward some shit. But then you can't sit there and say, I'm the observer. And Dave said it. We pulled the quote up. He said it. No, these are just objectively true star ratings. Like, I gave matches I don't even particularly like high star ratings before and stuff like that. So he's gonna, it's not when people say, oh, it's just Dave's opinion stars. It's not in his opinion, though. In his opinion, it's actually not his opinion, you know? So that's what you got to remember. Sorry, go ahead.
Hey, Phil, can we give our boy Chris Van Vliet some credit? Because Chris
yes,
the most mild-mannered, huge glass half full believer in life. Everything's happy-go-lucky, rainbows, freaking unicorns. I want to live in Chris Van Vliet's world. Everything's positive in his world, right? And the fact that he's the one that called Dave Meltzer out on his shit for his dumb 5-star ratings and exposed everything with Dave just humming with his hands was the greatest thing maybe ever. And it really showed a lot of light onto his excuses of how he declares something a 5-star, 6-star, 7-star match. And now everybody clowns it. Thank God that people nowadays realize it's just one guy's opinion of a match. It's not set in stone. And it's not responsible for people's paychecks, because that's what I used to get so fired up about the most back in the day when I was an active wrestler. And I know what you're going to say. Well, Matt, you weren't Dave's cup of tea. I shouldn't have to be his fucking cup of tea.
Yeah, and especially if he's objective, especially if he's the objective observer and no, even stuff I don't like I put over. Exactly. You should not have to be. It should just be what objectively is true, you know? So
yes, sir.
Yeah. Exactly. But so here's Dave I don't know, just he fast forwards through the shows and then he fucking rates the matches and he doesn't even actually watch it. He didn't even watch the full documentary. Here's his take.
And we got a lot to get into here today on this American Independence Day. I just got finished watching that WrestleMania. You told me it was 2 hours.
How long was it?
It was an hour.
Okay. I mean,
oh, and then below Meltzer said what says like, here's Dynamite Dave claiming WWE's WrestleMania Behind the Curtain doc that aired Wednesday at 7 on YouTube was getting the jump on Dynamite and confidently claimed the doc was 2 hours long to go head to head with AEW. So instead of like a retraction or anything, this is all they do. These two fucking goobers right here.
WrestleMania. You told me it was 2 hours.
How long was it?
It was an hour.
Okay.
You didn't even watch it. What are you fucking talking about, Dave? Didn't even watch the shit. He's I watched 40 minutes of the 2 hours and it actually was only an hour, but it was Fucking
No,
idiot.
I mean,
Anybody that watches that podcast, I go off on Alvarez all the time. Dave even more. But I got to give Alvarez his flowers. He lately has been attempting at least to ask logical questions, and Dave just doesn't even realize he's getting clowned by some of Brian's questions. It's hilarious.
Imagine if somebody really pressed Dave like you or I. Or like Giga Chad Van Vliet, by the way. Yeah, I call him Giga Chad. Anytime I put fucking Van Vliet in a thumbnail, I put the Giga Chad next to it because that guy's just amazing. But yeah, here's Dave just bumble fucking his way through some shit he didn't watch. But he's
I actually I watched probably about 40 minutes of it. And I just thought that the time could be spent better doing something else.
I was expecting it to be much better than it was. I mean, it was a well put together documentary, but I mean, if you are a subscriber to this website, which you better be if you're listening to this, I don't think there was any new information whatsoever in there.
It's not even new information.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I didn't think that was good. I didn't think there would be, to be honest, personally, like before it came out. But I did expect to see maybe like, Rock go behind the curtain and like, well, that didn't, that shit didn't go the way we thought. So I don't know. And then there's all these speculations about Cody shoot pointed at Roman, but he's supposed to point at the Rockers. I don't fucking know, or Seth or something. But then he actually went into business for himself and pointed at. And I'm just like, I feel it's just all hearsay in WWE's narrative.
Time out. Is that a rumor?
There's like, I've seen that online where people are saying, Cody actually went into business for himself and he pointed at Roman when and that's why Roman looked actually confused when he was.
That's true. Good on you, Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, for real. Wow. And he's a guy who'll take control of his own destiny, man. We fucking know that. You know what I mean? He'll pull his bootstraps up and go, nah, this ain't working for me, brother. Not that way, but not in that way at all. But he'll pull his bootstraps up and get to work and go, you know what I mean? I'm gonna leave WWE and I got this list, and then he accomplished the list and he starts AEW and go, nah, this ain't what I thought it was gonna be. He goes back. He'll bet on himself. So if he went into business for himself there, good on him for that. But I just think that's rumors personally. If I had to bet on it,
I wish that was the truth. I wish it would.
Yeah. But they continue along with this.
It was like,
no, that's my point. There was no new information whatsoever.
There was no new information, but there was even it was very much like a very carefully put together WWE documentary in the sense.
Yeah, well, we read the quote, Dave. We know what he's saying. So, we read it before here. I don't want to hear him babbling. So here's, so this is what he claimed before, saying like confidently it's 2 hours or whatever. So here's just proof. We're just fact checking.
Got a preview for Behind the Curtain, which comes out on Wednesday.
Isn't that interesting? And that was what I was thinking of head to head. Was the Behind the Curtain?
Oh yeah,
head to head on YouTube, Dave. They're on fucking TV.
This such a freaking mark.
God, dude, it's YouTube.
They put it on. They got the jump by putting it on an hour earlier. That time is.
But how long is the thing?
2 hours.
Oh, is it 2 hours? Okay.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's 2 hours. I'm not sure. I'm not positive. But
okay. Well, I guess he did say I'm not positive. He's like, I think it's 2
no.
hours.
No. Don't let him get out of it. Okay.
Okay.
That's what he says to everything. Mystico, we just heard 2 seconds ago, was a main event star, bona fide draw. Wait a minute, he hasn't actually drawn anything. I'm not sure he's a full star yet. But people are buzzing about him. Like, no, he negates everything opinion he gives just to cover his own ass.
Yeah. Dave right now, Biden.
Yes, but at least he has the wherewithal to talk out of both sides of his mouth.
Yeah.
He does. He covers his ass.
It's true, man.
Jump Wednesday night. You think that was a coincidence?
Yeah, unlikely.
Yeah.
Seth came out for.
You think it's a coincidence? Well, it's like the only day they don't air WWE shit, dude. Were they supposed to do it on Thursday? Like, I don't really get it. And then they ended the documentary 1 hour before, right as Dynamite started, the documentary ended, actually. So everything he was worried about, and it's always conspiracy theories with Dave and them. Okay, the last one I got for you, Matt Morgan, right here, and you could probably talk about this a bit because it's a creative decision here. Dave Meltzer has called WWE's decision to change Olympic gold medalist Tamyra Mensah-Stock's name to Tyra May Steele completely ridiculous, but does understand why the company did it. I don't think they should have changed her name. I agree it's completely ridiculous, but I do know where they're coming from. The wrestling fans do not know Tamyra Mensah Stock. They don't. Would I have changed her name? Absolutely not. She's an Olympic gold medalist. But, I mean, Chad Gable isn't his real name. Tavion Heights isn't his real name. And they were in the Olympics, both of them. So what are your thoughts on, like, you know, WWE switching names around? In my opinion, she's probably down with it. And then this way, they don't get a cut of all of her fucking, like, endorsements and shit outside of WWE, you know? Would that be me speculating? Is that too weird, or is that too outside the box? That's my opinion on it. What do you think?
So respectfully, these are Olympians that did not do what Kurt Angle went out and did, right? Be on the front cover of the Wheaties box, went out and upset a Russian wrestler that had never been beaten ever, and captured America's hearts.
With a broken freaking neck.
The broken freaking neck. I'm not saying that because I'm a Kurt guy either, but we all saw when it happened. It's different. It's just different. Not all Olympians are created equal, depending on what sport they're participating in, right? So, like, these are not household names. It's exaggerative to say they are. Neither of those three talents they just said, including Chad, were household names. So if you're WWE, rightfully so, I want to own the rights to these names because I'm putting all the money into them right now. And if they go somewhere else, they can't use that name. Like, if I'm running a business, that's how I'd run a business. That's the difference between All Friends Wrestling and running a business.
Oh my gosh. How did your name work with WWE then? Like, what was it, like a headache? What, did they make it a problem for you? Did you have to fight to keep it? Did they try to change it?
Nope. So because I started in Tough Enough, you know what I mean? Tough Enough season 2 as Matt Morgan, right? So they couldn't bring me in as the Masked Marauder all of a sudden because I was on MTV, which had higher ratings than the WWE product did at the time. Our Tough Enough show did higher ratings.
Yeah, I love those shows.
So because of that, it'd be dumb for them not to capitalize on using the Tough Enough talent's real names. And so thank God I was able to use my real name and then go use it elsewhere afterwards after I left WWE.
Yeah, that is amazing. It's good when now people got good lawyers, because you see AJ Styles and Samoa Joe and those dudes were floating around with their own names for a while, and good on them, you know. And they also made their names elsewhere, but it's yeah, so that's good. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was Dave Meltzer's dumb moment of the week. Although not all of it was dumb, but hey, we keep it real here, man. Got to give Dave his due, and it's due, man, I guess. Matt Morgan, can you tell the good folks about Gigantic Pop and what you all got going on in your world, and anything you might want to plug? And yeah, before I thank you so much for coming on.
I just want, like I said, I'm a legit fan of the show. I think you're hilarious. I mean that. And all the people you have come on your show are hilarious for the most part, too. And I agree with like 99, if not 100% of your thoughts of the business. And whenever I see that, I always write the person and say, hey, I appreciate what you do with your show. And that's how me and you got in contact. But I didn't come on this to plug our show. But if you think you're letting me.
I want you to. No, that I want you to, yes.
I run a podcast called Gigantic Pop Podcast between myself, Raj Giri, who used to be the former owner of Wrestling Inc., and my friend Glenn Rubenstein. And we basically talk about all the different shows that come out through the week for pro wrestling, along with different pop culture stories. I mean, pop culture stories, we talked about the importance of the Rock and Wrestling Connection, Cyndi Lauper, Roddy Piper, that Piper's Pit, things that were historic, not just in pro wrestling, but pop culture at the time. And we cover different movies that are like Rambo, Rocky, but we mainly cover pro wrestling as our main gist of what we do, especially nowadays, because I love talking about pop culture issues, but at the same time, I love talking about wrestling, especially nowadays, because of how hot it is right now and how exciting it is to be a fan right now. Because it is. It's very exciting to be a fan right now.
It is, man. It's the best ever. Meltzer is 20 years past the key demo. Yeah, man, it's a glorious time. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it so much. And yeah, dude, it's just a glorious time. Wrestling's white hot. And Matt, I got to get you to come on the pod, like just the pre-recorded one sometime. If I could steal your time, just appreciate you even coming and hanging out with me. And yeah, shout out Raj and everything you guys are doing over there. I love Raj on Twitter. He's a great follow, and I've covered things he's done as well on this show, or like, you know, funny tweets that trigger people. I love when people get triggered, if you don't know. And yeah, I just where can people follow you too? At BP?
Yeah, Matt Morgan at BP Matt Morgan on Twitter.
BP Matt Morgan, yeah.
On Twitter and Instagram and on Facebook, just Matt Morgan. Yeah, keep doing what you're doing, man, because
thank you.
Work in the community.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that so much. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was PWT Podcast. Thank you so much. We're almost at 4K subs on the Clips channel. So if you're not subscribed to that, that's at Pro Wrestle Clips on YouTube. At Pro Wrestle Times is the other channel. We blew past 1,000 subscribers. And thank you all so much for that. A round of applause for you all. A round of applause for Matt Morgan. And Matt, I will leave you with this, good sir. And I'll shoot you a text later, but I'm going to leave you with something. Round of applause. It's the GOATA. Chris Jericho, Matt Morgan, I appreciate you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, peace.
Yeah, brother.
I look and see it's not just me. So many others have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. They call us problem child. We spent our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're one and one for all.